With the last 2 weeks on the horizon, we are increasing the weekly prize pool to $2 million. So, get on the battle bus and drop in. This is your last chance to name yourself among the best of the best and to build your way to a spot at the Fortnite World Cup final. What are you waiting for? The battle is building, and you don't want to miss out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fortnite World Cup Online Open Qualifiers Week 9. The solos action continues. NA East is done. NA West soon to begin. My name is Jack Courage Dunlop, and I'm here to provide you with all the entertainment just before we get to our casters for these games as NA West is now underway. The final region, the last spots will be decided. Only 2 positions left up for grabs, and I cannot wait to see how it all plays on out. First, though, we've been live throughout the day with matches across all the different regions, and here's a look at our schedule. Obviously, Oceania, Asia, Europe, Brazil, NA East. They've all concluded. They are all done. Now underway is NA West, as you see that start time of 7 p.m. Eastern now on the board. As you know, top 25 here in the format earns you 3 points. Top 15 earns you 5 points. Top 5 earns you 7 points. A Victory Royale, 10 points. And Dr. Lupo, every single elimination you get is plus 1 point. As we head into Brising, you see exactly the difference here. $2 million this week.
That's a lot of money, Jack.
$2 million is a lot of money,
Jack.
Yes, it is. And I would like $2 million, please, Epic, as we keep going.
You are not good enough to get it, Jack. We do have the qualifying spots remaining. Remember, this is the last week of solos. 8 for Europe, 6 for NA East, so we've seen so far. Asia, Brazil, and Oceania as well. And the last region for the day, for the weekend, 4 solo qualifiers thus far. NA West picking up 2 spots right there, Jack.
2 spots, that is it. Of the, what is it, 98 positions. 2 remain. Who will get them in the end? As you know, the top 3,000 compete here today. We've been using the hashtag Fortnite World Cup as we do every weekend to see your guys' thoughts in the day. I've had some pretty wacky questions for you guys up to this point. Not sure exactly what to expect from this, but here we go. I'm really enjoying the Fortnite World Cup. Can't wait to see who comes out first today. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Thank you, Hunter. Appreciate that. I genuinely think at Zikamus Prime is such a good caster. I never hear him mess up on words or say something dumb. That's a paid actor. Kato. Fortnite World Cup, yes! Love all that stuff and beautiful artwork right there. Here's my Bright Bomber, unfinished artwork, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. I'm looking for Sundown's Twitter. Is that even his name? By the way, he's the best. Also paid actor, but Sundown's Twitter is @CourageJD, so we'll go ahead and get you linked on up with him. So, Discord, we have a great interview.
You do indeed, Jack. You're ridiculous.
I don't know. It's just what I had to do. But no, we have an interview coming on in here. Can we say hello? I believe it's Aspect.
Hello?
Aspect, what's going on, brother?
Up?
How are you?
What's up, man? I'm fantastic.
Are you playing out of your kitchen right now?
I'm in a house with with Animal, who's my teammate, and then Kearney, who's another competitive player in Philadelphia right now. We're all set up in like the kitchen, living room area.
Jack is extremely jealous of how close you are to the fridge.
Yes, I am.
I can roll over to it. It's pretty nice.
This is 200 IQ right here. Now
Jack's
this is
actually going to change his setup later to mirror this.
This is how you keep yourself composed. Now, Aspect, you're someone that we've seen competing in Fortnite for so long. You broke it on through. You've made it happen. What was the preparation like for this week?
We got here last week before the duo started, and the 3 of us have just been playing 24/7 arena, everything that we possibly can, just prepare for this weekend, and paid off.
It absolutely did. I mean, you could say it paid off in many different ways, but now you're qualifying for the biggest stage. Obviously, people have dreamed of making it here. In your opinion, what worked for you today that made this possible?
I won my fight off spawns when they really needed to, and I just had really good internet connection, and that helped a lot. Like, I was just able to take people's walls. Like,
Hey,
a lot of things that really needed to go right went right
that seems to be
in the games that it needed to.
Exactly. It seems to be a lot of people's answers. The things you need to go right do go right. You can't complain with that one too much. Now, when you found out you made it, who'd you tell first? What was your reaction?
All of my bros in my bro cord. I was in a channel of like at least 10 of them, just screaming. And then I called my mom and my dad, my grandparents, and obviously the people that I'm living with right now.
They found out too. I'm sure it was the screaming that gave it away. That's too awesome. Now, Aspect moving forward, we've obviously got, you know, the Pro-Am coming up that I think a lot of people are excited to watch. We've got the duos, but then New York City, the World Finals event. Have you ever been to New York City? How excited are you?
I was in New York when I was like 7. I'm really excited to go. Really excited. I'm going. My sisters and my dad's gonna be there. It's super fun. I'm gonna meet all my bros IRL. It's gonna be a great time, and I'm gonna win like $2 million.
Oh, there we go. I love the confidence.
I was literally gonna ask. I said you have your family coming. All these people are gonna fly out to New York to see you play the Fortnite World Cup. What's your prediction and how you're gonna do it? I think $2 million is easy.
Hey,
right there.
It's a good weekend of Fortnite, I think, if you wind up making it. Aspect, it's great to hear from you. I'll give you the floor. Any shout outs you want to do? Shout out your social media. Let us know.
I will say I only called today because I used code SEND-ASPECT in the item shop.
Nice.
My Twitter is AspectFN_ on Twitter. Make sure you follow that. I need followers. I need the impressions, please. My Twitter is AspectFN. I mean, my Twitch is AspectFN. You should follow that too because I am an alpha male. And yeah, that's all I need to shout out.
Love that Aspect. Congrats again, brother, and we'll definitely be seeing more of you soon. Keep practicing, and good luck. Have fun in the final couple weeks. Folks, that is Aspect there. Absolutely great to see. Awesome, dude. As now we take a look, our next thing we're going to go through before we get to our games, where we currently stack up in NA West.
The last region, Jack.
That's it.
All of it's on the line, and at the top they're already qualified.
Okay, peak is always
but holding first place, Jack. You can't deny it. You can't push him out of the spotlight. World Best Gaming Pika all the way up here, 31 points. Barely a lead. I mean, we're only a couple games through thus far, 2 or 3 across the entire top 10. We've got a couple names we've seen up here a number of times.
Yes. Right? And Harrian's actually was who got first, I believe, yesterday in the NA West qualifiers, or was up there throughout the day. So stacked standings as you'd expect, but our games are ready. Lupo, we're ready to get into the action. NA West, we're not the casters, begins right now, folks. Let's welcome in our casters, Zeke and Sundown. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thank you so much, Courage. It's crazy that we decided to put the taco shop that close to Courage. Something could have gone terribly wrong. I'm Zeke. This amazing man next to me is Sundown. We are getting ready, guys. The final opportunity for a lot of these players to qualify here in NA West.
The last chance, 2 more qualification spots up for grabs. You're going to need that mental toughness in order to clutch it out, but the matches are ready, so let's get right on it. Enough of us. You want to see the Fortnite action. We want to see the Fortnite action. And again, if you're playing on Sunday, we have the opportunity to hop into your game. So if you see any of your friends out there or they do anything cool, let them know. Catch that clip. Drop it to them on the social medias, as Monster might say, and then get into the games. You can also watch live in client. There's a nice little bar right there. You can see just over an hour and 45, so nearing the halfway mark as Sol 9 just blows up Retake Impact with a nice little gatekeeping angle there, and he finds Swiftlink as well. He's gonna try and double back over to get the shadows. Opts not to, just pops the launch pad and gets out of dodge.
Now don't forget, guys, if you've watched Fortnite competitive before, you know exactly how dense this lobby is, and this is not surprising. If this is maybe your first few times, expect to see, as we hop into these games, these lobbies with potentially over 50 people, right? Especially over here on West. This is it. Last chance to try and rack a point and secure one of the 2 qualifying spots on the line for West. So now, it's all about what can I do? What can I do to get as many points? So how far can I get in placement? Can I get top 25? Once I get there, what's the next step? Top 15? Can I pick up elims along the way? Every single thing, every decision these players make is going to affect the standings. The leaderboards will shift, and it will dictate ultimately who will be going and punching their ticket to the finals in New York City. You know, it's stressful. It's stressful.
I mean, it's stressful for me, indeed. I'm not going to lie. Like, when I talk about this being sweaty, I've applied deodorant 3 times so far today, and I'm just casting. Like, it's been absurdly hype, yelling at it, the number of plays, the flint knocks that have been broken out, just nuts all over the place, inspired by, with a good drum gun spray over there. Antidote also getting taken down. But the action today has been so absurdly close and intense from top to bottom. Everyone has elevated their game across every region, and the question that we want answered is who will have those last 2 spots. Also, one other thing I want to touch on right before we fully focus on the West. Aspect, when he came onto the scene initially, was younger than 16 when that was the previous competitive age, and he had tweeted out, God, only a couple weeks separates me from winning tens of thousands of dollars. You know what? 16th birthday comes through, gets into the fall skirmish, wins the very next event a couple days after, and then goes on to cement himself as one of the favorites. However, from that point on, he really fell off during the starting weeks of the World Cup, so it had to have felt great to get in the last match, get to 60, hold on for an hour, and see yourself in New York City. Brilliantly done from Aspect, one of the original young lords, but now a veteran on the scene. Again, congratulations. But as I said, East is in the books, and we're on to the best of the West in here with Zaytan as he pushes into the box and picks up PTO Quake, getting close to that first placement threshold of top 25 for 3 points. You see Zaytan has one heck of a loadout on him.
The single shadow bomb, a slurp juice, that combat shotgun, the tactical AR with almost 500 rounds. Zaytan is ready. He's looking to take engagements, especially with the slurp, right? Even if he does get chipped into his HP, he can use that slurp to top himself off. We just hit top 25. This is huge. Those first 3 points coming in is going to make a difference. Now, don't forget, every elim is a point. So right now, Zaytan is looking at 5 points if he was eliminated right here. Now, of course, he wants more. He's still hungry. He's looking for that victory royale. You see players trying to rotate here with the backs to the storm. He's going to look for picks. If he can, one's going to get caught. The edit there, the door. Hello, welcome to the world, Twinkies.
Not going to survive the apocalypse there. Twinkies does get taken down. Zaytan, however, in one of those tight little box situations. Oh no, he metroed himself. He metroed himself. He's stuck in there, cannot move. This is what kept Metro from qualifying in week 7. Can Zaytan push himself back out? And he is. He's good. Out, no problem. Top 15 now as Tavern picks up Zucchini. Spelled all the way out. Appreciate that. Making our lives easy there. As Zaytan now 4 elims, top 15. 9-point game so far. Inspired Ride picks up Muddy Is Me, and we get closer to the top 10. Player just on the outside of the box, and Zaytan recognizes it, has the slurp going, gets a ramp placed inside of his box, and he's like, nope, I'm out.
That could have been disastrous, man, that shadow bomb play. But it's okay, Zaytan's recovered. And again, he did hit top 15. 5 total points in placement, 4 in eliminations, looking 9 points in a single game. This is massive. 4 players need to fall, and he makes top 5. This could be another round of placement points. He's going to go try for the edit. It fails, unfortunately, but here we go. Immediately, Zedek?
I think it's Edic, not positive there.
Okay, the X's always confuse me. Edic there, going to be shut down, but look at this. Look at the incline. Right now, Zaytan made the smart play using the Shadow Bomb to Billy Goat or Mr. Savage his way up before everyone else.
5 players remaining now, so we're into the last placement threshold. Drizzle goes down. Here's Old Man Mountain. You see Saul desperately trying to get around it. Oh, but Inspired opts to take a shot with his assault rifle. Can he find anything? Looks like it's just going to be a straight up 1v1. No, the zone comes back over. Inspired, no, gets ticked out right before. So now straight up 1v1. Zaytan versus Tavern. Tavern on no builds, pushes out, and Zaytan from the high ground. We saw him. He was only on the 2 elims when we hopped on board. Picks up 4, gets the high ground, and the victory royale up to 28 points after his second match. Well done.
And I mean, him using that Shadow Bomb to just make the rotation early, these are the things you have to do, especially when trying to navigate around a mountain. He immediately said, look, I know what's going to happen here. Everyone's going to get trapped down below. I just need to get up there and establish myself. Everyone has to then come to me. I'm going to just sit here and gatekeep, and it works in his favor. Victory all going his way. But, of course, more action on deck. Next game, again, We talk about these dense lobbies. 45 people, 20 people need to be eliminated before we hit round of placement points, and this is Storm Circle 5.
Storm Circle 5, so it's in that overlapping zone. You can see it in the bottom right-hand corner. The blue circle indicates where the current safe zone is. The white circle indicates where the new one is. So all the players who are already inside that next white circle will have priority on shooting everyone else who has to rotate in. Psycho is one of those guys who has a gray AR as well as the legendary hand cannon. So decent pressure potential, but not the best in the world. We do see Harrians over there on the side, or Snorre, name spelled backwards. You have Psychic over there in the bottom right, as well as Technique on the lower half of Psycho. Going to continue to just pour shots into people. Has a pretty good angle and is very well covered, so shouldn't be threatened here. It just kind of wants to wait out until the zone closes. You can see it coming in now.
Ooh, someone's in the box!
And that was
no.
Keaton, who got taken down. It looks like he was just a box square above, but that's going to give Psycho a ton of mats, shadows, rift to go, baller. What more could you want in terms of rotation? That was a gift from above.
That is so unfortunate. I believe the player was edited down, right? It all happened so fast. There's my cousin, LG Prime there, as a fellow Prime. Harrion's here, or Snorri. He likes to spell his name backwards. That actually got me yesterday. You called it out. You know, I feel like I kind of like this too because it makes sense with a capital H at the end.
Yeah, it's the capital that got me, because like that used to be a very big thing in a couple of the other competitive games that I played before. Is people when they would go to like major LAN events or even just local ones would spell their name backwards, and then Centro gets utterly abused. Not going to put that clip on YouTube as Harrians picks that up, and he has a full little shop down there. I mean, he could just be hanging out. You see the Storm Surge warning come on through. If you are unfamiliar with Storm Surge, the way it works, if you have not been dealing damage to opposing players, just been super passive, maybe hanging out in a ball on the low ground or in a 1-by-1 the whole time, you will be punished. Inactivity is not something that will be granted when there's this many players who are left. It's 10 damage per tick as it comes through, and Harrians again goes to put the traps out. His baller does get eaten by it, but Amu Okami gets taken down. He's gonna be okay with that. Has the rift as well in case he needs to get out of dodge tool, but there's a player directly behind it. Rift right now. Yep, there you go. Takes him with you, and he's just gonna get back into the center zone. You actually saw he pulled 2 other players with him outside of the one. They were just in shadow form.
Very tough spot right now. 45 effective HP. He's gonna have to burn the campfire, but this is gonna tell the entire lobby. Lobby, I am in critical condition. Please leave me alone. Let's just play fair here. But look at this. Everyone's scrambling, trying to get themselves to safety. Psychic's already poised himself in a great spot, posted up. Now look up above. We got a bunch of billiards in play. Look at this, though. Harrians. The double launch pad. Now he's going to rotate back. I believe that's probably the smart thing to do. All right, he's just saying, look, I'm just going to keep this one by one over. I'm just going to use this as my defensive tool if need be. Okay, I believe that was a geyser here. Going to just mess with people. Going to send them into the sky. It's okay. Harrian's going to get a new position now. And there we go. Top 25 just hit Psychic. Finds Roman is 14. Picks him up, sends him back to the lobby. I mean, look, Harrians has a fantastic loadout. The 8 rockets, the minis, the launch pad, the combat shotgun, the tactical AR. He's ready to just take this lobby by storm.
Yeah, but he needs to find the space to use it, and that's going to be a play right there. Gets Rubizzle with the direct impact, and then gets SX Beast with the collateral damage, knocking the build down and causing the fall. Can he find the connection? He does. Drops that player down. Will it connect for an elim? No, not going through. Must have been some form to save it, but all of a sudden he's up on the high ground looking down on the rest of the lobby. Harrians up top. Technique right next to him goes for the take. Harrians hits the first combat shot, and now we'll look down to the low ground as you see a number of rifts, and the geyser. 2 rifts go up, geyser go up. Everyone's up in the sky. Cue the circus music as we're about to hit top 15. Who will be the player to drop? Psycho trying to take away the high ground. Instead, opts to edit down and begins his waterfall. 1-2, plays the floor. Instead, drops down, and Dankies gets ripped.
Man, that geyser just really caused so much havoc, allowing people to reset when they needed to. We're in top 15. More players are being eliminated. Just look at the spread here. Psycho there needs to get in. He's going to be taken down to the zone. Technique and critical mission. Harrion sending rockets up above, just messing with people's builds, and Psycho gets shut down. Psycho, this is huge. And look, he's got the 2 slurps, 2 launch pads, 2 campfires, 3 half shields. You can't really use the half shields. You're not going to be given the 4 seconds. But wishful thinking there. An 80, double 80, 136. Headshot spree, Psycho. This is what you need. Especially Sundown right here. One more player needs to go down. Top 5. Harry Hunts with more rockets. It looks like voice and technique are going to be blown up.
Harrian's picking up a nice double there. Now you have Psycho in your top right, Harrian's in your bottom right. Psycho on 19 points, Harrian on 22. Psycho takes that one away from him, both shooting the same target, but now Psycho looking straight down on Harrian's. He doesn't realize! Harrian's doesn't realize he was right on top of him, but he blocks him off. Now Harrian's has high ground control, but he gets both of them as Psycho falls down. Harrian's not snoring there. He says, wake up, I've been up for a while. GG, bop, 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 da, da, da. Harrian's great victory royale, up to 27 points, the top spot out of the semifinals. Can he do it today? That's the question. We're in NA West. The action doesn't stop. The games are going live. If you want to check it out in client, you can click that watch live tab, or you can pull up the leaderboards yourself, check out your favorite player, and, you know, just get the matches going. Not sure how you'd be able to be in the client hearing me and not know the watch tab was there. Didn't quite think that one through. But now, Jaylee, good stink, and then also takes that ball away. He says, no rotatos for you, as he boxes himself up, has his own baller, a stash of shields, bunch of stinks, and shadows, as well as zone priority.
Man, I'm still... Well, Mouse gets picked off there. I'm still reeling from that last game.
It was fantastic, but one thing I want to talk about, rather than going back to last game, just right there, you saw how it looked like he shot him through the stair. If a build is yellow, that indicates that there is a player or something currently phasing through it that is causing it to not complete building. This means that projectiles and other things will continue to pass through it until it gets built. Both the shots going through there. Well done from Jaylee. Now on board with FaZe's Jarvis, the player who in week 7 was just 2 points out of qualification. The controller lord out of the West ended up taking home the Fortnite Friday with FaZe Tilt just this past weekend. Can he add a World Cup qualification spot to his resume? He desperately wants to, sitting right now on 25 points.
We're about to hit Storm Circle 6 as well. And again, another dense lobby, 41 players. We started on about 45, and it's been thinned out just a little bit here. Now look at this. We have to begin making rotations through Neil tilted. Chef Shaba there going to be picked up by Jarvis, his 3rd elimination. And there's still 39 players left in this lobby that potentially could just be food for Jarvis. Look at this, man. Shoulder to shoulder, 1-by-1s. People separated by a single build. Jarvis, all right. I like the impulses to reposition, and he's going to be able to farm a little bit of wood there as well. Okay, I like it.
Yeah, impulses can be a little risky. You don't necessarily always know where you're going to land, but with all of these player-based structures over here, it gets him into the center of zone and allows him to spray shots back down the rest of the lobby, hitting a couple of tags there. You can see the Storm Surge warning on the right-hand side. 3 more players need to go down. Kicks does get converted over by the Storm. Jarvis now opting for the impulse play and catching himself on top of the builds. Immediately turned, saw that player, knows he's a tarp above or in shadow form now, drops the edit, and he's going to work back through the Burger Tower.
Okay, I like this too, because if you're using builds, you expose yourself. Or you could not use a build and hide in a little corner here. This is what makes Neil Tilted so dangerous. We see players just all the way around. We're at 28 players. This lobby is going to continue to thin out because everyone is scrambling right now, trying to get themselves to safety. Jarvis, look at him though, still on effective HP. He's trying to hunt this player down. He wants his elimination. A flick shot comes out, nothing connects. Now he's got the beat on the player. He knows where this player is, and he's just trying to lock it up.
26 players left, and you also notice he kept ducking out into the storm, trying to catch that player, not covering his back, but was well enough, gets directly on top of Papo Anthony. You can run, but you can't hide. Jarvis is inevitable. He will find you, and that's a big swing for him now on an 8-point match, 5 elims and top 25, but Little takes out Wheels, another fantastic contender. We saw him and Jay, and Jarvis just pickaxe the ball out into the storm. That's going to be storm damage, and actually huge strat. If you are out of builds or have nothing to do against the ball or don't have a boogie, pickaxe it, send it out in the storm, and then just shoot it out. It's 10 damage that goes off there. If they think they're safe and they're not going to pop out, get the opportunity. However, is risky. They can pop out and shoot you back. most of the time they do want to play passive. We've seen a couple of those go through. It's 900 IQ, but right now Jarvis is trying to be 900 IQ. Gets pulled up into the rift. No shots coming out from everyone as the dives begin to go out. A number of umbrellas are pulled since we're at top 18. Players just want to stay in the lobby. Vinny gets
you get high ground. Yes, dive in. There you go. Connects with it. That was beautiful.
He needs to get back in the zone. Oh, he does. He finds a nice little pocket, and now he has that high ground priority, Zeke, like you just called out.
Someone goes with a challenge. It's Blix the Fire.
Just ruined it.
And dude, just outside top 15.
That's so rough when you put in that much time, but he's going to be okay with that. Still a double-digit performance there out of Jarvis. Now Blixifier drops down onto a little girl trying to get out and over around the side. No, that's not who's playing. That's his name. As we check over into the mid-tarp, you got World Cup Deuces trying to manifest that positive energy, doing everything he can. We've seen him in these lobbies before, but Barrow is trying to have a say about it. The duo qualifiers wanting a solo spot desperately, and Arkham trying to get one of those as Spicy gets picked up on the way down. Barely even a reaction. I didn't even see him there right out of the side, but Arkham gonna keep working down. Has the uncommon attack, notices the player in that baller right next to him. He does drop out. Can he create the distance? And he does. Deuce is still in as he gets little. Twinkies picks up Spiky and Localist goes down, so we're closing in on the top 5. You see the trap on the ceiling. Arkham gets 2 tags and now needs to pickaxe his way through. He can't go that way. Knows there's a trap and he finds Jay Lee.
Navigating this building, the technical savvy, the ability to remain calm. Arkham, you are a legend, but look up top though. Barrow, look, his HP is very low. He's got the RPGs, 3 left. He's gonna start sending these rockets down to this mid-ground tarp. Deuces, Zed, Snipes, they're gonna be all forced down toward Arkham. But look, we're going up on the side of this mountain. They need to make something happen. They need to, okay, they're just gonna battle it out. Arkham here, the lowest HP, the rocket gonna come in and protect himself.
He's in the zone, he's
oh my God!
He got it! That was sick. Arkham was so good while Barrow had the high ground control. Everyone funneled into Arkham, and he says, welcome, I'm the meat grinder on the bottom. Give me it all. Give me the elims. Give me the victory royale. And you know what? I'm going to try and get one of those qualification spots. Brilliantly done from Arkham. 1x there, closing it out with the victory royale and staying savvy. The rocket pressure from the high ground was immense. You're playing in the Fortnite World Cup Online Open Qualifier Final. There's 2 spots on the line, and you cover yourself the entire time just knowing you have the zone, knowing you have the pressure. That is intelligent game sense defined right there from the Week 2 duo qualifier. Desperately trying to find a spot as we now cross the halfway mark of the queue times on NA West.
Oh my gosh, we've just been treated to some of the most unbelievable Fortnite action. It's so, I'm so honored to just be here and to just get to hang out with you guys and cast these games. Again, another dense lobby, 49 people. And look where we are. This is the half in, half out circle we talk about all the time. That's circle number 5. Is Isekai Proverbs here trying to find more eliminations. He does have 2, which is pretty significant, especially because we're down to half of the lobby. He's just going to look to play maybe a little slow, trying to isolate this player on the other side of this wall. Wall edit comes through. Does the ramp fall up? Nope. He picks up pavers there and some loot. If I didn't even see that.
Check your ceiling.
I didn't even see. I was like, he's going to walk in and get the loot. If that was me, I would be gone. That's it. I would have been eliminated. Actually, I wouldn't even be competing here because this is the finals, top 3,000 of the region. I would not have made it this far. But that was very Proverbs. Let's go, man. Great eyesight. It's like a hawk.
I'm not even going to ask you what your arena score is as we hop on board.
You know
here.
what my arena score is.
You see Saf there on the far left side. Carson up top. Cheeks also putting some shots down towards him. You have Redux on the side. And right now, Proverbs is in that firing tunnel. And he says, nah, I'm good. Out of there. No thank you. Want nothing to do with that. Pops the last of his shadow bombs and gets all the way over into the priority side of the zone. Look at the bottom right-hand side. The whole lobby has to rotate past Proverbs. So what are they going to do? They're going to pressure him, saying, nah, you don't get to hold that spot for free.
And I mean, look at the health, man. Down to 29. If the lobby decides to turn on Proverbs, he's going to get picked off. He just needs to take a second, bury himself down in these builds, and start either looking for a siphon, get the meds, or the minis.
One thing else, too, want to call out, mispronounced your name yesterday. You saw Code Cali there on the bottom, another player who had a great day, but we're on board here with Twitch Maximo as he drops in and they say, just stand still. Stand still. Hello? Hello?
Okay, you missed the first one. No! I don't know why he was trying to wiggle there and trying to be a little cheeky about it. He does get the 63 though, Sundown.
He should get this. The players in the Storm will get the Storm takeover.
There it is.
But the question is, how much does it cost him? Because that should have been free, and it should have given him the high ground control. So can he get that back? We're getting closer in to the top 25. Instead, just going to use the redeploy. He picked up and hop right over. Good bunny hop to maintain the momentum and continue going. Again, when we talk about bunny hop, spamming jump, when you're touching the ground, you can retain some of your momentum, but be careful. Might carry you off the map. I've done that a couple times, I swear. Very not pretty. As we see here, Moni pushing over 34 players remaining, so still not at that first placement threshold. You see Acho Tiposolo getting picked up on the low ground by Lorelei there. Mo also in this match, S2 still representing on that West Coast, the friend group who is all about getting better at Fortnite, and they're representing hard here. Jae Young picks up evade mood, and we have our top 25. Brockster gets knives FN right away. Aether goes down as well, so 8 more spots until we get the next one. And Brockster now knows the player's not going to cover his 6, drops right down on top of him. Hello, Moni, hello? Open your ears up, man. He's right next to you, but well done there from Brockster. Not double jumping, being patient. That's what we talk about. Don't need to be sprinting next to him. Use those fast-paced speed. Got to be keeping an eye out on those heartbeats. No, it's incredibly difficult. As we get closer to the second placement threshold, 17 players remaining, and the 7th zone is closing.
And of course, it wouldn't be a game if we weren't trying to traverse Father Mountain. Oh, thankfully, the Storm goes in the completely opposite direction. It was just a tease. It was just a joke, but look down below. Rapid gets picked up. Holds 45 there. Going to be going toe-to-toe up on the high ground, though. Lorei here is going to be battling it out with Lorei the second. So, Lorei.
Lorei, you're Lorei. There we go. Top 10 here. Lorei on the high ground.
All right, a bunch of players have fallen. We're now 7 players remain. Great shadow bomb to keep Lorei here, just ensuring no fall damage is taken. But look at everyone else. They're deep within the builds. You've got 2 players down below that aren't building. They've got to be out of materials. Can Lorei take advantage of the Brockster up on top? He still has them. But look at everyone down below. Everyone else is battling it out right now.
Yeah, we're into the top 5, top 4 now. Brockster top right on the high ground. He says, no, I don't need high ground. Let's just join the fray down here. Only 1 tarp above. Lorei gets Mo and gets the match from it. There, Brockster gets I Am Charo. Lorei has a shadow if he wants to try and retake. Zone is closing. Also has 75 to the 24 build, but Brockster doesn't care. Shoot first, ask questions later. Brockster putting pressure onto Lorei. Knows the zone is there. Lorei tries to dip out and around, but too clever for your own good. Brockster, 5 elims and the victory. That match was ridiculous, but for now, we're going to throw it back on over to Courage, who's in the studio.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yes, great energy from Zeke and Sundown. What you don't see behind the scenes is Zeke currently taking his shoes off, got the socks out.
He honestly looks extremely relaxed.
He's looking real comfortable, but the energy's there. I like it. I respect it. I love hearing those two on the mic. Courage joined by Dr. Lupo as we catch up to speed on a few things going on while the NA West action unfolds. Obviously intense down to the wire in some of those games right there. Arkham with a big performance. We saw Jarvis with an unfortunate demise there in 16th place, but Ben, I know you've got some things you want to show us.
It's actually funny you mentioned both of those players, Jarvis. Harrians as well on that list, and Arkham to end it. We have a set of replays. We're going to look at all 3 players and what they've done thus far for NA West. Pretty crazy how fast-paced things happen in these games, and I think NA West is one. They don't shy away from, the pace of what we've seen from EU and NA East. Shots inside a box, awareness, very, very important in Fortnite. See, Harrians here, a number of plays repeatedly showing. He's got the awareness, the ability to build up, basically chasing his own rocket down in that clip right there to match a player elevation, shots from above, swap out the RPG, one of the most powerful weapons late game, especially when you have a swarm of players underneath. Repeated shots. Give me a combat shotgun and an RPG in a high-skill player's hands, and I guarantee you'll see a feed.
Right.
It's going to be absolutely ridiculous. Matching height there, catching Psycho on the rotation down, but like you said, Aaron's not the only player from NA West putting on a good show. Jarvis, you mentioned shots on the outside, little peek shot on another player, getting third party, taking opportunities every time they have a chance. Very, very important that players are paying attention to who's around them and what exactly they're doing and maybe what other people are doing to them. Jarvis says the impulse over the top, flying away there. Get an escape. You got a landing on top of another baller player. Papo Anthony goes down and picks up a quick little set of loot. We've seen those kind of chases pretty often, too. You have players that are flying through the air, and they'll follow someone on a redeploy or Baller, the Rift to go, and landing literally inside the same box, taking ownership of it. You mentioned Arkham here. Patience is so key. We're in the top 5 at the very end here, and Arkham's sitting on the ultimate low ground, waiting for players literally to drop in like that. Deuces goes down, another one, and Arkham's just going for a flick, looking for the next, finds a follow-up. Another one, back to back to back to back, and Arkham doesn't even need to climb his way out until the very last second, and even then, Barl goes down to himself.
Yeah.
The feed, Arkham took it over. NA West, just top-tier awareness, but still at 49 points, still in first place. Pika from WBG, but Harrian's right here. We saw a ton of clips from him at the beginning of the set of replays there.
Yep.
Taking second place
Pika,
so far.
Pika, 3 games played, 3 wins. Thankfully for everyone else on this list, Pika already qualified. So because Pika's already qualified, it would be players in second and third if it were to remain this same score line. We'll see if that happens, though, Dr. Lupo. So far, NA West looking great. Obviously, still some time to queue. So that being said,
Just throw it back, Jack.
maybe send it back on over to our casters to keep the action going. Zeke and Sundown, take it away.
Thank you guys so much. Oh, did I cut you off? You want to do it? All right, let's pretend I'm
Oh, no, that's fine. You can take it. It was cool. I didn't have my hand up or anything. It's fine. Too busy showing everyone how you're lounging.
Yeah, no, I feel...
Did you use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup?
I did.
Oh,
in
okay,
fact.
good.
Yeah, so just for your context, in case you're just tuning in, Dr. Luba and Kurjidi decided to go ahead and call me out, expose me, say that I'm straight lounging right now. If you check Twitter, it's true. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's just Zeke low-key trying to plug his Twitter there. Don't give him the
I
impression
didn't say anything.
it's not about
Didn't say anything.
Oh, yep, nothing low-key about it. Indeed, as we're all here on board with Dexstar. 43 players left in the lobby, and it's about to crunch down. And again, you saw the standings right before this. That was basically a who's who of who hasn't qualified yet in terms of the NA West side. Minus Pika, all of those other players have been so absurdly close. CJ, Harrians, Domo, all of them have been up on that board, and this is the last opportunity. Cannot stress that enough. The final 2 solo spots will be decided in this last block. If you want to be on the stage, you have to put up or shut up right now. Because if you don't, you're going to be sitting there and you're going to be regretting it. You're going to be feeling like you didn't accomplish it. But one other thing that I desperately have to state. Just because you don't qualify for New York City means you're a bad Fortnite player. Anytime you make it to Sunday in your region, you are in the very top percentile of the people who play this game. There are millions and tens of millions of people who have tried and played Fortnite. Don't get discouraged. You are incredibly good. You are among the best of the best. If you want to continue taking it seriously, there will be something to play for. It's not going anywhere. There's always going to be more Fortnite games to play, whether it's community events or other things. You can find ways to improve. You can go through, you can watch the VODs, you can pick yourself up, you can talk to another player, or similar to what the S2 guys did, find like-minded players, join one of those friend groups, ask players for advice, keep pushing yourself, because you're not going to get better by giving up. And hey, if you do want to give up and it's not for you, that's also okay. There are a ton of other games out there, and gaming is not just a singular thing. Games are fantastic, particularly with E3 going on, a bunch of new and fantastic titles out there that deserve to be celebrated. But right now, we're here playing Fortnite, trying to decide those final 2 spots, and Andrew picks up Uncle Iroh. That's the T right there.
I love every time you make that reference.
It's so good.
It is very, very good. These references are next level. Just to expand a tiny little baby bit on that, you know, we get it. We know it's a very difficult competition. We understand that, you know, it means the world to qualify, and if you don't, it feels like the weight of the world is just on top of you, and you doubt everything, your skill, your ability to play all these things. But we promise you, you are here for a reason. You've made it to the top 3,000 in your respective region because of how incredible at Fortnite and how skilled you are as a player. So keep your head up, keep grinding, keep your head up, keep pushing. I promise, it'll all pay off in the end. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup, man.
And
Never
also,
forget.
hey, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. What did your improvement look like over the course of the World Cup? Did you get more points? Did you have one of those days that were really good for you? What was your story like? How was it competing in the first open tournament, in the largest open tournament that has been run? Let us know, because we want to hear about it. We want to know what your experience was like, what you liked, and what you didn't like. Give us some of the positives in there so we're able to iterate on all of that stuff. But as we said, now pressure plant going through, geysers going, and Terrainy is extending his shadow form because, as we said, his feet doesn't touch the ground. So that answers the question about what that interaction looks like. The real question is, if he hung out on a zip line, would he still just stay in that shadow form? Who knows? Top 25 placement points are abound, and Terrainy now has priority on the zone. He's going to look back and try and catch all the people who are hot feeding right by, but that is an incredibly tough shot to hit. 23, and does he get metered by the other player? He does. He's in the box. He's stuck in there. Doesn't look like the player recognizes, so he's just gonna boop right out the side in a box with the baller player. One trap down, finds doesn't find the trap, but finds the shot because Cryo has to move to the other side. 16 players remaining. Harrians and Andrew still in the lobby. Nobody wants to be the last one. Trap fires. Player gets to the opposite side, puts the ramp down. Tyranny being like, nah, I'm not dealing with that. Bernie picks up Oppo Whip, and we have our top 15. Harrians gets Kytrex, and Rick gets Orba, and the lobby is thinning fast.
Exactly, and look at this. Another one just picked up like that. We're nearing top 5 so quickly. But look at this. You still have people all the way around. Players being eliminated left and right. Up on the high ground, though, Hustle and Allrum looks like they're going to contest right now. Harrian says, everyone up top, go ahead and come on down. I'd like to just go ahead and send you back to the lobby. So there you go. Now, Hustle did not drop all the way down. He still has the highest ground tarp, so he's just going to keep applying pressure from above. Now, I'm curious, does Harrians have more rockets? Okay, you answered my question. Thank you. Did you read my mind? How did he know?
Right on up there, you see Andrew picks up drip traits, but Hustle starting to row kind of thin on mats. He has 22 left, but it should be okay to hold high ground for now. Is dealing with no, he picked up ammo from that last Elam, so he's okay. Dexterity picks up J Roses, and we're into the top 5. Harrians goes down just inside of it. Tyranny picks up Dexterity. Now it's a 1v1 between Tyranny and Hustle. Tyranny up on the high ground. Hustle going to take it away. Double ramps out into the side. 90 and then reverse flips it, but gets coned off by Tyranny. Great cone there, so Hustle now going to drop back down. One thing to note though, Hustle has the bandages, but no builds. If it goes to full close and he's okay, it should go to him. The difference between bandages versus a slurp and a campfire is minuscule, but Hustle slips up, only had the 50 HP, and gets taken out by a very slight change in elevation. That's not Old Man Mountain, that's like the newborn hill, but it was enough.
It was enough. I love fighting Volcano because it just makes like the action feel more action movie. It's like we're fighting over lava. Who will win? Food. Oh, between the slats. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Send observers your love. That was dope. All right, I liked that one. That was a pretty dang good one. I liked it. But look at this, Rux. Rux hasn't qualified, right? No, Pika and Rux have qualified. Excuse me, I missed.
They've qualified in solos, haven't qualified as a duo.
Yes, so one more opportunity in this next weekend to try and come through.
Actually, it will be on the Thursday and Friday, June 20th and 21st because of those changed times. Also, don't forget those hours have been pushed back, and the prize pools have been doubled for that rescheduling. Again, you can see the qualification spots on the right-hand side. 19 were up for grabs today. 17 have gone down, and 2 more are available here in the West. Who will be able to take one away as Rux begins spraying shots out there, swaps to the combat, gets a 12 and a 9 tag there, so knows the player is on whites but won't be able to find it. Instead, gets mitts with a little bit of help from the Storm.
Man, another dense lobby. Now keep in mind, we're coming, the circle is already moving. The Storm circle is already moving. We're getting closer to that Storm Circle 6. Rux here, a little bit of a tough spot. He's going to go ahead and get that launch pad, get himself out of dodge, and begin his rotation. Question is, where does he want to land? He probably could have challenged that player, but I think it's a little bit smarter. Just go to the edge of that next storm zone, get yourself to safety, establish, and then see where the next zone is. Right? again, every interaction matters. Every decision they make is literally going to make or break their game.
So on that rotation in and of itself, you have two choices when you're going through. You can come down on the very near side of the zone where there's going to be more players, but you want to land towards an edge because the next circle goes outside of the bounds of the safe zone. If you don't go to an edge and you go to the middle, you're guaranteed a rotation no matter what. Whereas if you do get an edge, you're either on the backside and have to rotate right away, or everyone rotates into you. So the safe calculated play is you put yourself in the middle for an even rotation, but that means you're in the middle of the rotation and guaranteed have to rotate. So if you put yourself towards the side with mixed utility, you at least have a chance of hitting the zone. But then on the flip side, if it goes back to the opposite side, it's really rough. Most of the times during that overlapping zone, I'd say you want to go far side simply because the near side's going to be stacked and there's less threats there. So even if you do have to rotate away, most players aren't rotating all the way over there. As you can see Sealmat doing right now and then turning about face. Sees all the players dropping down from the sky. And that was the slow redeploy. That's what I'm talking about. If you go to press space, as somebody knocks your ramp out from under you, you'll be stuck in that slow redeploy forever. But Sealmat opts not to punish that player, instead swaps targets onto gun deals and swats him out of the sky, swapping his name from Epic Whales Duo back to Sealmat so we can give him the credit where credit is due without undue confusion.
Dang it, you literally stole my joke. I was going to say, man, I'm so happy to see that Sealmat has changed his name from Epic Whales Duo to his real name so we can give him the credit. Dang it, Sundown. It's like you read mine. It wasn't like a joke. I'm just saying that was like.
Oh, it was one of your jokes. Got it.
Yeah, so it's not
As
funny.
we hit top 25 there, Pearl taking out Hitmarker and Sealmat getting over to the far side. 3 points for everyone. Top 15 will be the next one for an additional 2 points, and then top 5 in the Victor Royale after that. But Sealmat wants the points from the Elims. You can see the baller kind of griefing him a little bit there, just hitting the spacebar, knocking the builds, not letting him be safe. But Anjul gets picked up. Brilliantly done there from Sealmat, and now going to opt to pop the shadow and get on out.
I like that rotation because typically when you do with a door and you use a shadow bomb and then you open the door, players know to laser the door instantly because you're going to be coming out as a shadow. If you edit up and then you just bounce out of the box, no one can really tell where you are, and it makes you way more difficult target to hit. That's dope.
Adapting, man, like we said, everyday people pushing the limit. But now we got Buphack up on the high ground. Boombo in combat shotgun, sitting on full draw right now, has an explosive shotgun round ready to go in case anybody gets greeted by it. Sees the shadow player, not able to find the first hit. Baller right next to him, just pickaxe him. That works too. You can send him on down, but he's going to be able to catch himself. See if he had pickaxed him there.
He would have got
down in the storm. Would have got an Elim.
Yep.
Just saying. 200 IQ.
You know what I'm curious about? I know.
So that's another thing.
Okay.
It's top 15, so that's a 3-point swing there. But an explode or any AoE damage that hits a baller, if it breaks it, will crack through. Bobhack gets Wavy Jacob as well, the player who is in the top 5 tomorrow. So good high ground domination from him. But now back on board with Sealmat. 2 Elims and top 12 currently, needs top 5 for the next round of points. But he also still has 3 stinks, Zeke.
These just increase in value over the course of the game, right? You got to think the stink bomb is a little bit larger than a 1x1 grid space. When you throw it in, especially in this tight of a corridor, you're going to get guaranteed damage. Remember, that's damage that ignores shields and hits directly to the health bar. If he just drops it down on the players down below, he's going to get a bunch of damage numbers, and he's going to be able to track them. Because remember, that damage number is ticking, and you can track where that number is coming from.
Drop it on the backside of the storm on low ground. Players will always be there. Always, no matter what. But right now you can see he's only on the 31 builds, trying to find a little bit of room to navigate. Finds a big pot, knows there's a player over on the side. This is when you should be using those stinks. They are going to get to a critical point where you will have no more area to get it. But Sealmat says, I know better. I'm going to stick to that combat shotgun. Top 5, top 4 now as Pearl gets end picks. Pearl on the high ground. Bobhack on the tarp beneath. Sealmat now on the mid tarp. So now Bobhack on ultimate low. And there it is. Drop down the stink. Drop down a rocket as well. Sealmat got the last up. Bobhack, that's the wrong way. Flit knocks out into the storm. Sealmat should just drop another stink on the low ground. Oh no! He put it in his own box! He put it in his own box! So Fetty got the tick over onto it because he was the last one who tagged him forever ago. Pearl got the tick as well. 17 points for Pearl, but Oh, that's rough. You know what? That's just one of those ones where you wake up in the morning and you're like, yep, it was just right before. Lift up the covers. You smelt it. You dealt it. Real rough there. Taking yourself out. Not about the Dutch oven there, but hopping into the next match. Tracer, Lior, Poser, Kicks all over by Pleasant Park. You have Doten in the corner, and Tracer has a nice little loadout, 6 shadows with the combat. Also has a tower built up, so might have a little bit of extra resources underneath, and has priority rotation on the zone. You can see right on the edge of the Pleasant Park circle.
Yeah, I mean, right now, at this point, he could just look to gatekeep players as they're trying to get themselves into safety. I want to see, though, yeah, okay, I was going to say, I want to see like a wide shot. I want to see more of what's going on here in Pleasant Park. A lot of players are on that outside edge, and they need to start making their way in. We've already had, you can tell, right? There's players that have already established themselves in this new safe zone. Now it's about everyone else. How do they get in? Are their rotations safe? Do they have long rotations? Does someone around them have a potential launch pad or rift that they could use? Do they have that utility? So many possible decisions. Look at that. Choi, he was flying in the air and just gets ripped to shreds. He's not been eliminated, not yet, but he is in definite critical condition. Bolt Johnny, they're going to be picked off in 38th place. Rough, not the worst, but rough for sure.
That's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. I'm not in terms of like, oh, getting to 38th is bad, but playing 18 minutes or whatever in a game to get to the 5th circle and then being dropped out before placement points doesn't feel good as a player. Tracer now popping the shadow, going to opt to try and find a little bit of room. You can see, again, the players gravitate more towards the outside of this 5th circle. Gradient Bricks picks up last live. Tracer hitting the tree to get a little bit more, sitting on 5 elims and 5 smoke bombs. And now, why you're towards the outside of the circle, everyone on the eastern side of Pleasant now has priority on that zone, and players are going to have to go past. 35 players left. You can see everyone playing safe, playing dense. Nobody wants to get picked off right here. We've talked about it before. The placement threshold is kind of the barrier. Like, hey, was this an acceptable game? You can't spend this much time in a match and not get placement points.
And here we go, man. Circle has started moving. Again, guys, every interaction matters. This is their last opportunity, the last few games they have on the server. Probably like about an hour left of queue time. Becca, can you help me out? Boom, 105 minutes. Thanks, Becca.
105 minutes?
Wait, what did I, is that
really,
what I said?
Zeke?
An hour and 5 minutes.
Really? Ah! Wow.
Anyway,
all right. Yeah,
34 players.
Right back.
No, Becca, take that away. Remove the graphic. Becca, remove the graphic.
World Cup. Can Zeke do math? The answer is no. If you answer yes, we're not friends anymore. Now, Tracer here turns and picks up Pocket. And Sino gets Jarvis as well. The South Korean player taking him down there, representing from South Korea, as I said, from the Asia region, playing in Canada. Currently had a nice little Canadian flag there on his Twitter account. Yeah, I was trying to figure out, but I know he'd been doing everything they can to try and get one of the solo spots there. You can see Sino in the bottom left, Persecute also in the lobby, Vide in the lobby, Fate Yonder, Wheels, Thai Tanks, TXG Temple, Dorden, Kaz, Coral, so many players has qualifying for the Fortnite World Cup creative side with one of the sickest trick shots during Ninja's thing, still into the top 25. So 3 points for everyone in the lobby. And Kaz goes down right there, a little bit of a caster curse. I apologize, but he did get his flu shot, so not gonna end up being sick. Kefu picks up Doten. Spook does get his shadow canceled. Immediately gonna 90 up, box himself up and over, and he says, nah, I'm gonna pop another shadow and get out of dodge. This is risky. Needs to avoid getting metroed here, and he does. Puts enough space between him to get back over the backside of the zone. Nobody expects the reflank with the shadow. You expect him on the far side and have to come back to the near, but Spook can't convert as Vide. Oh, as I say that, he drops down and chases Persecute. That's a 3-point swing as that even pushes us into the top 15.
Now top 5 is the next threshold, and this is where we're going to see players play a little more defensively. They want to hit top 5. Those extra 2 points are so crucial. Spook here doing his best impersonation of a spooky ghost, walking around that shadow bomb. He's going to find a player, a 36. It is a headshot, but not a ton of damage. And look, he's got there in the pyramid. They're trying to keep themselves safe. He does get the ramp, and the players, they're just trying to abandon. They're like, no. I need to get myself to safety. I need to survive. Kevin going down in the top left to Yonder. Cherish Reality just going to get ripped to shreds. 3 eliminations for Spook. And then Rocket He's looking to fracture it all, Sundown.
Oh, but he finds the player in the shadow form. Can he follow up on it? What?
Wait, what?
I didn't. Literally, I heard the audio cue as he turned and built. That was inhuman from Spook to be able to get that there. Sino picks up Dordan, and we're getting closer to that top 5. And one thing to note, once players hit the top 15, it's a little bit like, okay, I got my 5 placement points. I can kind of press it. This is a relatively successful game either way. And Synergy Kicks on the high ground. 2 big pots, Shadow Bomb and a Rift. Little less valuable, but it's all about the rockets and the combat. He's going to start working top down and looking for those aim downside shots. Holding his hard right hand, waterfalling another level, only about 3 or 4 up, and now he's going to start looking for shots. Misses the first, and sees 2 people get blown up. Leo and Yonder get blown up by Sinu and Thai Tanks, and we have our top 5. 7 points for everyone in the lobby, and Kicks is trying to go to work. This player holding him off, using the turbo build to just hold that box, and Kicks says, okay, you can have it. I'm going up 1 more.
He does have a single RPG. He could just bring everything down or just save it and try to get a cheeky angle and just level everything down below. Now, keep in mind, he's got a great angle. He immediately just destroys that player there. They're going to just back to lobby. Good day, friend. Sinu there picked up as well. So who's left? I 3 box beer wide shopping. The rocket gonna come in.
That's it.
That's Thai Tanks. Oh my God. Okay, who's down below? Who's still left?
I think he actually got a shield tag with that RPG. I assume this player is tagged out. That's why he's just playing defensively.
It was Spook.
No, but he did get a shield shot. Spook tried to be a spooky ghost there, but no, a Flankerino's Synergy kicks him out to the lobby, gets the victory royale, and closes that match out. Well done from him there, and just look at the run away from Pleasant. We pretty much head in a straight line there, but the action doesn't stop. 47 players here. You see Zucchini and Nico over here as well. And look in the bottom right-hand corner. We're over by Lonely, but look at the number of players who are in that next safe zone. There's only about 4 or 5 on the edge, and the other 40 players are going to have a long rotation over there. That's a lot of open space.
Yeah, we need either community launch pads, community rifts, shadow bombs, whatever it is. Ballers, just get yourself to safety. Now is the time to go. Nico, look at this. Rift to go, slurps, half shields. He's ready. He's got no E-limbs. He's trying to look. He's saying, I've got time. I'll mess with this player. Sky Virus. Unfortunately, not the T-Virus. Gonna get eliminated there.
So one fantastic thing that Nico did, and you might wonder why players are doing it, players will set up a ramp directly behind them and then force themselves onto the wall. This goes back to the conversation we had before about those yellow builds. If you put the ramp and then you're standing in it, because the other wall ends up being broken and you're phased into that one, as you step forward, that other wall gets full built and it kind of pushes you forward a little bit, but makes it a little easier to phase through into the walls. That's how Nico was able to get there and get that shot off. Well done from him there to close that one out. But the rest of the lobby, you have Rex, Psycho, Pine, all over on this side. We already saw Psycho have an incredible performance, and not gonna meme on that because it really was that good. But Rex gets the wall, gets the cone, has the trap on the back side, and Renuity can go hang out in the lobby because Rex is dominant there.
Another member of S2 or the Heart Clan. In case you can't tell, looks like a little heart. Look at it. Squint your eyes a little bit. You can tell. The S and 2. 42 players remain. This is going to dictate what happens moving forward. Where is the new safe zone? Here we go. Down low by Lonely. Okay, so pretty even flat terrain. Like, there's a little bit of that little, like, incline, that little baby one there, but it's not like a mountain, right? They're going to be fine, especially with rotational tools.
So the first players who go will be fine. The second players won't, and that's why those hills end up being so bad. When you're going over kind of a change in verticality, you need to be going early or have utility, because if you're going late without utility and trying to build up, it doesn't matter how good of a builder you are. If everyone in the lobby has slapped brick and metal down there ahead of time, it takes forever to break through. You can't find your angles, and now we see Pika trying to take the wall away, drops back down through his edit. Storm Surge is on, so 9 players in the lobby will be pressured from that. Again, 30 is when it turns off. You see typical gamer picking up AU Kirky, and Pika trying to find the player, holding with the heavy snipe there. As Citizen snipes, just gets held by the entire zone. Pika goes for the shot, but does not hit it, and immediately pops his glider and just hangs out in the air. Wants nothing to do with all of this chaos on the mid and low ground.
Yeah, just let everyone duke it out, you know. as they're making rotations, the lobby's going to thin itself out. And look, this is exactly what you do. Just wait. Especially now as people are trying to establish themselves, he's probably going to try and challenge someone for their high ground. Because you don't, down below, all they're thinking about is who can I pick off? How can I get to safety? Now instead here he's going to say, look, Zeke, I'm a step ahead of you. I'm going to land there first, establish myself, and I'm going to look to gatekeep everyone that's trying to rotate in. A player here, he's going to get the wall blown out from his side. Good recovery though. He did not lose that much life. He still has the 2 half shields as well, so he's still good to go. 28 people still left though. Look at the rotation out of that shadow bomb.
So sick to be able to get out around the side and get over to the far if he can now establish himself and begin shooting. But instead, you see him on the right side of the screen, just continues to extend out the shadow bomb and get to the top 25. Well done there from Pika. There's a reason he was in the top spot. There's a reason he's already qualified for solos. He's really, really, really ridiculously good at this game.
There you go, Rift forced there. So now Rex and everyone else, not from the same Rift, their own potentially, gonna look to land, but look, a little girl up on top is taking shots at the mean old Fortnite players in the sky. Pika there, look, another shadow bomb use. He wants this high ground. He's continued to contest because he knows that is a power position and he wants it. Rex here is gonna try and get a little cheeky angle here, see where he can go ahead and nest himself. Looks like they're on the lowest ground tarp. This is pretty good, it's gonna keep him safe. Especially everyone down below. You got to think everyone probably down below is a little less on mats. So that's why they don't want to contest. They want to try and conserve. 4 more people need to fall. 2 go down there. 1 more. Top 15. Okay, I thought it was going to come a little quicker than that, but oh well, here we are. There. Okay, of course. Okay, I'm trying. I did my best. Anyway here.
And it was a little girl picking up Timber Skelty, the player from Mexico there. And we're into that top 15, as you said. And additionally, too, there were a lot of top 10 players who were in this. Players who last time we checked the leaderboard are up there right away. You can see Rex and Domo in there. CJ was in the lobby. A little girl pushes in and will pick up an Elam. Rex puts both the straps on the side. 1, 2, and typical gamer gets taken down. He was on a spree of himself. But Rex says, don't you know who I am? I know who you are, but it's time you learn my name. Brilliantly done there from him.
Well, he's got a big galaxy brain and tiny little arms, but Pika is up on the high ground there. He's going to go ahead and try and contest. Fisco, I believe, is the way you would say that name. Now, Pika having a little bit of difficulty, but keep in mind, he's got the 8 builds. That's why he's not trying to get crazy beyond fast. Decimated, but Night Slayer says, I am the Pika Slayer. Go back to lobby, friends. And look at this. Fisco's like, oh, did something happen? I guess I'm just going to drop back down. Everyone down below, everyone okay?
Yeah,
I'm good.
Night Slayer showing off his Earth type right there now as Rex continues working on the mid tarp. Does put down the first campfire, trying to get as much effective HP as he can. Will top off to 100 right before the storm that comes through. Finds the first shot. Can he connect afterward? And he does. That was Night Slayer right after he took out Domo. So now Rex on the low ground sends a player down. 1, 2, but Fisco catches himself right after. Fisco in your top right, Rex in your bottom right. 70 builds to 32. Fisco is going for an early campfire. He committed to,
no! Why would you stop it? Oh, no.
And so he stopped it because he saw that Rex was on the low ground and continued going through. So even if he had gotten it, he wouldn't have had the health advantage. But now the circle is closed. Rex just needs to hang out. He saw Fisco do it early, and he gets them. Rex had tagged him forever ago with it, pushing himself up to 39 points there. 19 from that match. Brilliantly done from Rex, but we're going to throw it on over to Dr. Lupo, who's in the studio.
Gentlemen, thank you. Legend has it there are a few things louder than the shriek of Zeke. But I will say the show and the shots from a lot of these players in NA West also standing out pretty loud, if I do say so myself. Speaking of which, we're going to take a quick look at the current NA West standings. So I'm going to now pivot and walk over to the board because that's what it says in the script. No, for real, NA West still going very, very deep right now. A lot of players competing for this top set of positions. Pika still holding it out all the way at the top there, 59 points, only 4 games played. I think he's playing a different version of Fortnite compared to everybody else. Symmetrical, Deuces, Sparl, Jarvis, Arkham, a ton of players, Harrians that we've seen over the course of the entire day so far from NA West. But I want to take 2 seconds real quick and look specifically at Symmetrical. 5 games played, 3 victory royales. Here's what's shown up so far. This is scary consistency minus this outlier number 3 there. But if you look in the bottom right, placement has been huge thus far. 70% of the 50 points that he's earned up until now. it's crazy. It's a spread like we have not typically seen. Usually we see closer to 40-60 or even a 50-50 down the line. But like I said, 5 games left, still symmetrical on a solid push. See if we can maintain that top 1, 2, 3 position. You have to remember, if Pika does maintain number 1, he's already qualified. So those 2 positions for NA West shift down just one bump. A lot of competition still out there. This is the last week for solos across the board. This is the last set of games for the last region. Before we get to those, we got to take a quick 5-minute break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to cast this thing and knock out the rest of the weekend. See you in a bit.
Zeke, this is it. This is the last chance, all right? People need to know about this block party, all right? This is your last opportunity to get them involved, to get them hyped. Zeke, everyone's gonna be there, all right? DJ Zeke's gonna be there. DJ Sundown's gonna be there. Everyone's gonna be there, all right? The people are waiting. All right. You know what, man? I'm DJ Zeke. I don't need no card. But what you need to do is buy your tickets to the block party. Tickets are only $35, Fortnite fam. Listen, all right, June 15th, 16th at the LA Forum. Day 1, Creative Showdown. Listen, all right, Team Evolve built an incredible map. Spoiler alert, it's dope. Day 2, Celebrity Pro-Am. 50 pro gamers, 50 celebrities, all battling out for a $3 million charity prize pool. What more do you want? What more do you need? Fortnite fam, you need to be there because we are ready to party with you. Bam!
Heyo Fortnite fam, Sundown here, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the Flintlock pistol and its impact on competitive play.
The Flintlock pistol is a great addition. Sometimes it'll just change the course of a fight.
The things you can do is insane. You can get height with it. It shoots pretty far. You can almost use it as an AR at the beginning game just to get one shot. It'll hit for like 80, 90 in the body.
And this is looking really good for Horrify, but the Flintlock is going to get the high ground. Nikiva, such a smart player.
The Flintlock is a common and uncommon weapon that uses heavy ammunition. It does 86 or 90 damage depending on rarity, and it has a 2 times headshot multiplier. This means that outside of a sniper rifle, it has the highest single shot damage potential in the game. However, the Flintlock only allows for 1 shot at a time, has pretty decent damage fall off, and also takes 3 seconds to reload. In addition to all of this, the Flintlock also has a mobility component to it. When fired, it will impulse the shooter backwards, and if the bullet strikes a target, it will impulse the target away from the shooter. This can allow for some tricky plays to be made.
Player there, runs out into the storm, jump, turn, finds him, yeah!
We've seen a decent amount of use out of the Flintlock during the Fortnite World Cup online open qualifiers. So let's hear from some of the qualified players to get their opinion on its addition to the game.
If I'm low on HP and I have to choose one weapon, it will be this one. You can actually like kill someone from 200 HP to 0 without taking any shots.
And it's also really good for competitive play because if you're high ground or if you want to get away from a situation, the Flintlock, when you use it, it knocks you some distance so you can get away or you can get high ground over someone. I think it just adds a lot of like different plays you can make with it. I think it's good.
I personally really like the Flintlock. I think it's a really good weapon. I think it's a really, really strong weapon in the right hands. You need to know how to use it and you need to base your whole game around it if you want to use it right.
It's just a kind of weapon we need more.
I definitely think it's one of the better things that have been added skill-wise. I like that it's so versatile. I really like it competitive. Definitely deserves a spot here.
Thanks for watching, and hopefully you saw how the Flintlock can be utilized in the right hands. What is the best Flintlock play you've done or seen? Share it with us using the hashtag Fortnite World Cup, and we'll be seeing you guys on the battle bus, or maybe Flintlocking through the air.
Welcome back, Fortnite fam, to continued coverage of the Fortnite World Cup Online Open Qualifiers. Now, of course, if you've been with us, you know we're in week number 9. We are knee-deep in NA West action, and I'm not going to hold you up much longer. Let's get Dr. Lupo, Monster D-Face up on deck, because I want to get into more games. Gentlemen, over to you.
How's it going, man?
How you doing?
I'm ready to crush it today. NA West, looking towards the very end of the day, which means this is the very end of solo qualifiers for New York City.
Last opportunities, guys, to get in there and make it happen. So we're going to be hopping right into these next set of games. And, I mean, we saw the leaderboard symmetrical just at the top. We've seen them kind of rocking it out.
Speaking of symmetrical, look, wait, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bushes in a row, and I think a 6th bush inside the box. Are those all players on the outside, or what's going on here? The camouflage is so good, I can't really tell. My vision is based on movement, so I'm not. I'm like a T-Rex. Oh, the trap behind. Il Chase pushing away. Barely dodging that one. Loadout looking a little thin right now. Blue tactical AR, blue combat shotgun, which I'm going to be honest means, honestly, the world at this point. How a lot of these players are playing. A gray AR, not too bad. 23 points thus far, 1 elimination, 78 builds, and a dream of New York City.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is here. As you only had 45 minutes left to queue up. That's going to be a second elim. 40-plus players remaining as the moving zone's just about to get cracking here.
Rift into shadow bombs. Let's go.
That's what he needs, man.
Rift into shadow bombs. Do it. There it is. Sending.
That's a freebie of a rotation straight across the entire field there.
No reason to go too early either. I mean, at this point, he's just going to try and drop in and get high ground of what's still safe. Landing just outside the zone. Going to box up and build a little bit of a base up in the air. Combat shotgun, attack AR. Not a ton of ammunition for that tack. I say that only 100 rounds, but it's still only 100 rounds. No opportunities to take too many shots on players rotating. Aiden, one of the stars of NA West, floating around in a baller there. Meanwhile, Epic Whale, Kanji, about to take a shot at this heavy snipe and see if he can follow through. I almost guarantee. There it is. 1, 2 shots. A couple shield tags on the inside. Didn't even look like critical damage, though, which is too bad.
Crazy to see how much the game has changed, too. I've seen players rocking double heavy snipes. If you can find them.
Back to back.
They can
quick
catch
scope the
people off
second
guard,
one.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you see someone that's maybe mid-heal, they're going to try and finish that mini. Because there's a bit of hesitation. They're thinking, I need to pop this so I can make sure that I get the shield. When in fact, the thought should be, I need to wall off after the first heavy snipe because there's got to be a second or something's on its way still. Heroes and Edgy, 2 eliminations here for Epic Whale. Up to 4 now, 29 points and 141 builds. 2 rifts, those are going to need to be used relatively soon, or they're almost obsolete. We'll see, though. Launch pad into a rotation. Around the mountain we go.
Yeah, he did get shot there, so he's going to have to land, kind of slow things down just a little bit. Someone got boogied over to his left-hand side. Is he going to snatch up that opportunity to kind of jump on, get snot? That player got right back in the baller, and down the hill he went.
Gotta go. No time to waste any of it. Player dropping in above. Epic Whale trying to follow through on that. Elam can't quite find it, and a big combat shotgun shot from that range. Very effective as Epic Whale's forced down to 76. Gonna have to play on the defense. Use that rift. Probably the last super safe time to use it, assuming nobody looks up. One of those players that may look up for too long. Jarvis, somebody we've had our eyes on a number of times for NA West already.
I was literally watching him back in the talent room. Jarvis.
That's real. I can confirm that he actually was.
Yeah, like just sitting there staring at his games because he's been having quite the run. A couple unfortunate hiccups, but all in all, just pretty decent run here. He's really made his way to the top of the radar, and I've been so interested to kind of follow his gameplay at this point. Up in the right-hand corner, guys, Victor Royale worth 10 points, but don't forget placements are all the way through. And talk about that, top 25 just grants Jarvis and everyone else in this lobby a couple more points just for being alive right now. And each elimination is worth 1. That's Nico who goes down to Jarvis.
Quick reaction, player pushing up, no builds for Jarvis right now, just 1, now 0, and shots come out from a corner, edit up above. Jarvis gonna have to try and apply pressure. There's no other opportunity. Just kidding. Sculler goes down, looking for a back-to-back. Denying the feed just in case those Elims come in way too quick. Ruddy goes down as well. PGG Jarvis moving forward. Excellent set of plays. No materials still, though, after building himself into a box. Finds Oh, an attempt on a player. The shadow bomb there, he got locked in on it. Somebody else from above does follow through with shots. Seal Matt, his duo right here.
Yeah, a little bit of a standoff there. I see Kate and G all in those players' names.
Oh, yeah.
So bunch of friends basically at this point, all in the same lobby. But here their enemies. Aiden jumps up, goes with the side hop, takes the high ground using the storm. But the cost, 60 HP to take this high ground, and the opponent didn't even expect it.
Not a big deal.
It was worth it.
Not a big deal, honestly. He may have spent the 60 HP, use it as a commodity to make his way to the top. A very good push with the baller. Take high ground, shot from above, combat shotgun, so powerful, and we're going to see it again for just a second. Weapon swap it at the TAC AR. Looking for shots, watching for exposure on an opponent underneath. Drop it down.
A little scout to the high ground. Everything seems to be clear, and he knows players are working their way down. He's taking his time here. You don't ever want to get too close to your opponent. He's trying to find an opportunity. Will he find it here as it's declining slowly but surely once again? He's keeping this high ground. He used a baller to get here. You can tell that he still has fairly comfortable materials for endgame. Deuces goes down there as Aiden is continuing to rain down top 3 situation. Trashy versus Little Chase. Trashy catches that one, and Aiden is now at 100 shield here in a 1v1 versus Trashy. Is he gonna be able to close out? We'll find out now.
Just a second here, Aiden moving forward, double layering up above. Trashy stuck on the low ground, no builds, shots from underneath, down to 69 HP. The shadow bomb in an attempt to maybe make a climb here using the tree potentially, but Aiden is doing an excellent job of zoning Trashy out. No attempt, no climb. He's taking an opportunity, pop a couple minis. It may not be enough though. Aiden stuck right next. No way! And Trashy with the 9,000 IQ play to literally just sit in the bottom. Exactly.
He faked him.
He popped the shadow bomb, but didn't even push. He sat, and Aiden spent all this time trying to track what couldn't even be tracked because Trashy was still in the bottom. Aiden literally lost an easily winnable game just because of an outplay mentally.
I promise you this, he'll never do that again.
Oh,
because
100%.
There's a distinct sound when someone jumps with the shadow bomb. And Aiden just, out of pure defense and safety precaution, put up the planks to protect himself, but he traded out storm damage. I bet you Aiden never makes that error again right there. And this is the rinse and repeat that competitive players have to go through. You have to go through these and then learn from your mistakes most importantly.
It's like you ever see like the label warnings on a product and you look at it and you're like, why is that on there? But you realize that it's got to be on there because it happened one time, right?
It can happen.
One time. Yes. And the same thing applies here. You don't think about it until you're in the situation where you're like, wait, this is a thing that I need to be concerned with because it caught you off guard and maybe cost you, in that case, potentially 4 points if Aiden had gotten the elimination and the push from the Victory Royale. Yeah, like you said, it's not going to happen again because I think Aiden's got the warning label on now, right?
That's right, and this is what the World Cup is all about, and that's why this is the best practice for qualified players, regardless. He's still a champ. We'll see him in New York City, but Snorrier catches that whiz. Very nice.
It's Harrians, dude.
Oh my.
Backwards. Bro.
Call me way off. I'm like,
you got duped so bad. Oh, shout out to Harrians for having a name that not even literally one of the most knowledgeable players I've ever seen. Monster D-Face can see it. If you have other names that are like that, anybody that's got a backwards one.
Whoever's working on you building your brand is fire them because you're not winning with that.
Tag Monster D-Face on Twitter, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. We got to get a list of names for Monster to look out for so we didn't stumble on any more, right?
That was a tough one, dude.
Player taking shots all the way across, 32 remaining. We got 7 more to go before we're into placement points.
Here it is, Spook. Wait, did I read? No, it's Coops. It's Coops. No, this is right.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea at this point.
We don't know anymore, but here it is, Spook. Hopefully, looking to pop someone here. Finds the window. It's a nice weak build right there, and oh man, building with Willet is terrible. Way above the threshold here. He's closing in on his top 25. Can he hold out? It's really what he's looking for. 38 points. He's in contention. There's still time to queue up here. He is totally in the running right now. And that's a big 3-piece right there. 2 huge legendary AR shots connect. One being a headshot, rips apart the shield. Combat follow-up, so clean. Spook goes back into recycle the geyser and just going to keep him in the air, just trying to get this placement right now.
2 quick ticks out in the storm, but does have the highest drop right now, slowly floating in. Bucky starting to take shots. Wouldn't surprise me if descent happens very quickly from those that are still floating because of that. Power on the bottom you saw for just a second, very low HP. Tricks picking Vita off the feet. Alex Toast getting an elimination. Power going down to himself and the storm. Hate to see that player on the outside. Alex Toast does get eliminated. Makin, 26 left. One more goes down. Whoever this 26th position is going to feel bad about missing placement points, but it is the way of the road, as they say. Ultra Laser Hawk is the player, and we are now in the top 25 for placement. Everybody picking up 3 points. The community launch pad may be going to pay the price. Doesn't quite go down. Now Makin down to 66, catching a competing player, going for the same launch pad, and everybody's flying in here at Lazy Lagoon. We're basically headed straight. In fact, it's an entirely in the water 8th circle that we're moving towards right now.
And like placement was only just barely given out. As we're in 20 players on a riverbed, you can't walk down there. You have to build. This is such a weird end game.
I mean, you could try, but it's going to be real sad when you have to jump along the bottom. Look at this, Foxy Boxy taking shots and then immediately getting shot at from Ty Tanks above. Goes down and Ty pushes in to try and get the loot. Player competing for that. Barband going down outside. Spook rotating forward, maintaining basically the 3rd floor up. A rip, gonna use it, maybe not. Decides not to, gonna move forward. A player dropping in the same box. Surprise, I'm in the box too, and Dotback goes down. Spook maintaining all the way on the outside of the zone. A couple storm ticks. That siphon actually did end up saving him, down to 49 HP now. 12 players left. Ty, Spook. A number of other players rotating in, stuck on the bottom underneath the waterfall. People
he got up and over, though. He did get up and over. That's going to be a weird place to rotate up, and he knows that's why he's looking right now, trying to see if he can find someone. Players are going to go down to the storm right now. That's one. Iota goes down already. It's such a weird spot. Their struggle must be happening here. Synergy and Diggles fighting in the zone as well.
Quick edit and a shot. Combat shotgun rotating around the outside, trying to chase that player down. Decides not to continue pushing just in case somebody else might be there. Like Ty Tanks, a quick elim there, picking up another siphon. The 50 HP shield total there, very important.
Just a bit ago, he had 49 health, guys. Now he's at 150. He is in the game right here.
Swing.
Will he get to 200 in time? Nope, someone snatches it up, but it's okay. He catches Aaron's.
The rift?
Right there, and there is a free rift. Definitely want to use that. Everyone already to the sky at this point. Top 5, all placement points have been given out, besides the victory royale at this point.
Knocking on the ultimate low ground, taking shots. Traps to defend from anybody dropping in, like Just Chillin', who does go down very quickly. Another elimination, 7 now in 5 builds. Maybe looking for another shot on the players underneath. There are a handful down there. A quick grenade, I don't know if he caught that. Just tosses one down to see if he can get a hit on somebody. Maybe the 60 seconds before the storm.
Can he get it?
Fix him out. Spook caught on the outside. He's got one build. Floor, he's gonna have to push up, find it. Gets it.
Did he get it?
Bertsack.
Did he get the mats?
Dropping in.
He got a few.
He did.
Yeah,
he did. He's
just
good
a few.
still. 3 players now mocking in the ultimate low. And watch this. Everybody's about to get pushed in the air because of the path of the storm. And that might...
He needs to hit the shot.
Oh my gosh. Staying just barely away from the vent. Almakin gets 4 eliminations. The victory royale and everybody else. At that point, because it was so close to the end of the game, nobody wanted to go for the vent because you're pushed up in the air, and with the circle that small, you are asking to tick out storm damage. You want to stay engaged, so a forced rotation out into the storm is the only option at that point.
Yeah, and that's why Spook was trying so desperately hard to push through that building and catch the Elam before he took off in the geyser, but he did manage to throw him up and couldn't get the siphon to keep him in the game. But here with Cryptic, charges back that bow, and West, 30 minutes left to queue up and get the last bit of your games. 30 minutes, you can effectively queue maybe 2 full games, one from here to then, and then your last, but it's only if you have more than 2 games left, then you got to start pushing through. Yep. We call those W key games. So as you see, the lobby right now is a normal lobby in a sense. As we approach towards the end tail, these lobbies are going to get probably like slimmed down.
And more, it's scarier and scarier every single time you go in there. Right now, you have to realize that these games are queued against players of relatively similar scoring. As we get closer to the end of the block, you're going to be looking at lobbies with players with very high point counts. Very, very competitive lobbies, very difficult lobbies. You're on West, 2 spots, by the way. The top two of 3,000 people. Top 2 of 3,000 people is... It's terrifying to think that that's how narrow it is. That's how few people make it through. We've gone through multiple weeks of this, of players trying to play out of their minds. Cryptic Slays picks up the first elim. A couple easy shots, the AR from above.
That's that boombo, though, man. Ripped apart all the shield on that player.
Just recently nerfed, too. A little bit of a
drawback decrease.
A quarter of a second longer now, but players still very efficient with it. You just have to time it a little bit better.
Any kind of change to that weapon is welcome, I'm sure.
You trying to tell me that people have a problem with the relative utilization of a weapon? Fortnite Battle Royale, the ultimate Battle Royale experience? No way.
Of course not, dude.
Never. Smile.
Insane.
You're insane.
Here we have
You're insane.
Blixifer. 2 stinkers. We saw stinkers kind of clean up some players earlier today. Just an end game. No way to defend against it. Persian goes down. Now Blix. He can take this ball. He can just go through the loot if he really wants to. He's not going to do so. So he's going to be content with what he has and gets the next zone here.
Too risky at this point. He's got to rotate so far still, and you've got so many players that are still out here ahead of the zone. JP2 right there, King Flash from the top, challenging Cryptic Slays. Hunt as well, landing the same spot, and Spicy right underneath. Meanwhile, Saf from Ghost, looking to make a play down here in the bottom, decides to not get too aggressive and uses that rift, seeing most likely that right now, at the time of the rift, 27 players left. I think the option there was, I don't even want to risk it. I want my placement points, which he gets now.
Yeah, not only that, someone he had 2 players somehow end up in his box. One might have been a shadow, the other might have been a baller, so.
Exactly.
He is not trying to stick around there.
The best course of action, honestly. Down to 22 now, and he's got to make it to 15. You see the top right there, the placement required to get the next set of points.
He's doing pretty good for himself this game right here. He's got double heals going on, playing for the high ground, manages to take it up, and it's his.
Do it,
He's just got to run it up. He's connecting with all the combat. Someone is trying to break him down. Doesn't even matter. He does manage to connect here, and there's 2 or 3 players now above him. He's going to use that moment of distraction to lower his elevation and probably just go back on the hunt in just a bit here, but
Still
stinkers are chasing.
One more needs to go down.
Look at that dodge right there. Sidestep, fake out. Now taking down the high ground player again, but lets his guard down, and someone's already on it.
Actually did pick up an elimination fake. He jumped off the top. Ended up going down to that. In the feed right there. 11 players left. Saf, 2 eliminations, 56 builds, and it's pretty much all metal, which is perfect for late game. If you had to have a situation where you get 1 material at the end, it's got to be metal every single time. You use that to zone people out as the storm's pushing in behind. Slows them down because they have to try and knock out those walls, and it's going to take multiple hits. And at the same time, maybe a chance for you to edit back, go for elimination. Hector here, the ultimate low ground, moving forward, 35 points so far. Still in contention, Cryptic Slays in your feed, putting it down to the top 10 remaining. As Fett goes down.
Yes, indeed. There's a player right here. He does have the edit, makes the double shot, connects with a 136 combat. Just 1 hit was the one that took him down, but didn't break the wall in time. Is he going to be? No
what
way.
A bait.
King Flash was waiting for that. But hey, he brought in a slurp juice for King Flash. That's going to be a big come up for him. And
special delivery.
Let's look at how much health these players in the low ground have. No Flash, just gets 1 of them right there. It's going to put him back in. He did get hit.
Saf in the ultimate high ground, just big chilling with already built structures. In fact, he owns a number of them. You see from this corner, he's going to watch for the shots. Finds 2. That player's down to less than 50. He's going to push forward, and it's Cryptic Slays goes down. We are now in a top 4 situation. Cryptic at least getting the top 5 points there. 7 from that. 49, though, total for Saf. Looking to put himself in the top 10. Hopefully the top 2 if he can make his way all the way to the top. And speaking of the top, climbing out of basically all the pre-built structures. Spicy, Sage peek right on top of each other. Spicy picks up that elimination. 3 players left. Schlump, the ultimate low ground. My friend out there in the corn. I feel that for sure. Saf in the ultimate high, dropping down, starting to descend. A little bit of fall damage. Both players at the bottom are literally dancing inside and outside of each other's builds right now. Corner edits happening. A ramp to push Spicy all the way in the bottom, and Saf and Spicy to 1v1.
It's the corn, it's the hayfield. Like,
He's got layers above him already for just a second.
Like,
Spicy's got 7
Saf's
builds.
like, no way, dude. I ain't going down there.
I want to see a Spicy push out just 2 or 3 floors out, launch pad to try and take high ground and push with a shotgun. Do it.
Saf's not having it. 1 campfire's down. There's the second, sits in the middle. Out comes the bandages, and that's his game.
Spicy was sitting on the launch pad. I would have loved to see him push out, put down a quick floor launch, fly up and try and take high ground, shoot down from above, especially with a tactical shotgun. You don't have the range of the combat, so if you're going to try and compete with that, you're going to fail. AR shots from underneath, potentially, but with the amount of materials that you could already see the player above him layering up, double layering pyramids and floors. So at that point, pressuring with a high ground takeover, in my opinion, granted I'm only me.
You're you.
But you never know. Like, I feel like that was the play. Thoughts?
I mean, think about it. There's only a couple of spots for qualification. If I'm being honest, to make it all the way through, you got to take risk. We've seen it happen all day today. 1-point differences, tiebreaker differences.
Yep.
You got to make risk right there. Like, that was an elimination he could have took, but he just said, you know what? He weighed his card and said, I have the bandage, I have the campfire. I'm going to go for the heal off. You lose a point. You leave a point on the field.
Was it NA East had, what, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 9th and 10th were all 60 points?
Yes, 4 players in a 60-point tiebreaker bracket, and Creo just barely eked out.
So you're looking at that and you're thinking, I should probably push this, maybe.
Don't leave anything up for grabs. Can't in those final moments, but
39 players left.
How it all kind of crumbles in that one, but here it is, symmetrical. We saw having quite the day today if he can continue to just hold out.
We had a chance to look at his first 5 games of the day, the breakdown, and he was so heavily weighted on placement. He's playing so strategically that 4 eliminations right now, multiple wins. I believe he had 3 games that were wins, and this might actually be one of them. We'll see before too long. One that he went out at 100th. I know that feeling. Don't worry.
If you're gonna go down, might as well be 100. Get all your time back.
Like, you know what? On to the next one. Keep on rolling.
You know, most players don't get 10 in anyway, so it is all good. As poor Fishman right here, Wheels catches a ton of damage. It was white, so you know he's gonna keep the pressure up here.
100%.
And yep, he's gonna keep it nice and safe. He hears the minis. This is checkmate, buddy. Hello. Bye-bye. I mean, yes, Ethan.
I'm assuming it's Ethan. Can't really tell. Question mark then. Put Wheels from WBG picking up a solid elimination. Good mechanical technique there. Getting the quick replaces, quick edits, the swipes. You can see him. I love that you can see him too. How fast they're activating the edit, swiping, confirming the edit, and then just quickly taking a shot. Sog is the ultimate high ground. Looks like an legendary AR in his hands.
I would not want to play on 60 hertz. I'm sorry.
Struggle.
That's rough.
It's the struggle.
Respect to Soggy's on 60 hertz, man.
Who knows if that's UV actually is. The name itself, though, very funny. I commend him. Moving forward. Little corner edit. More and more players, instead of capping off with a ramp and flipping it, have been doing a pyramid and just choosing which corners they want to raise up, because you can immediately just look down, reset it, and drop down, change corners. See multiple 3 players on rotation, finds the weakest one. Look at the damage above the threshold for Storm Surge. 1,338 damage above the threshold. Until it's down to 30 players in the top left corner of your screen, folks, Storm Surge will apply damage ticks to everybody that's still in until it's down to 30, or that is everybody that's below the threshold, the damage cutoff. So you have to make sure that you're dealing as much damage as you can. Like Alberto here, only 80 above.
Barely above, but lucky for him, he's just outside of the threshold, so he should be okay here. Alberto, 2 Rift to goes. 3 Shadow Bombs. He's got everything he needs to kind of play for placement here. You might as well at this point, and that's why he's choosing to just rotate, not necessarily firing at anyone. Just notice the holds here. Now he's going on defense, holding builds, keeping it nice and calm. If you don't fire back, people are going to start targeting you, and that's kind of what's happening here. So
2 rifts. So the 1 of 2 Shadow Bombs remaining. Gonna have to almost rotate through the sink. Dodges those with ease. 149 total. He's dropping just above. Oh my gosh. The landing there lands right on a ramp inside a tower that is 2 floors up. Drops in, build, quick double edit, falls into the player. Tactical shotgun, easy clap.
That's respect right there.
So fast.
No hesitation. Saw the opportunity, took the wall. That was the perfect scenario for him to be in. It's also going to allow him to upgrade that loadout. We'll see how he fares off in a little bit here, but now hopping over to Wheels, who's repeating the same rinse and repeat here. You want to just get to the zones. You want to be careful, too. Guys, when your shadow bomb is ending, if you're standing still, your silhouette is just there. Players can see you. I've seen players get punished in the past.
Oh, and he got it.
My God.
It was a teammate too. WBG on WBG violence.
Cannibalism.
You hate to see it. Wheels. Oh man, the reaction time there. If you get rifted up and you have an open slot for reload in your combat shotgun, there's a little the little gimmick you do right now where you quickly spam reload and shoot at the same time. And
I wonder, do you have to aim at that point?
Oh, bro, yeah.
Did you just hit what's in front of you?
I've seen shots.
Like, that's the real question.
I've seen shots miss, but very often you're going to see a big hit because they're right on top of each other.
Yeah, they hit all the time.
Very, very accurate there.
I haven't been in a situation to pull that one off, but man, I think one highlight happened last weekend, and ever since, it is just... They've taken the play and added it to the playbook.
Pretty much everybody had their eyes on that and said, oh, okay, I guess this is how we're going to do things. And it just literally, we had one, I think it was yesterday.
Said, oh, these casters love that. Let's do that, dude. That's the highlight.
And we had one yesterday where a player went for 2 back-to-back and couldn't quite get it to happen.
Crazy.
To try and, it was literally the last player who had 70 HP just picked him up twice with rifts. And
look.
He tried to do it again. He's trying to find somebody on the drop-in, man.
How crazy is that? But does a hard dive down. He's landing right on top of another fight here. What's going on up top? Oppa Whip, Wheels still in the game. C-Dub, Triggy.
Noberto.
So many combat shots just traded off, and Noberto won all of the
Bro, he dropped in, and then literally everyone down on the bottom with him is gone now.
Yep, that puts him right up to 3 elims. Here comes Wheels, just kind of making his way down. He's got to pop this slurp juice, though. Look at his health right now. Not sure why he's holding on to that, but it doesn't matter. It pays off because that fall damage is going to help him out tremendously. He takes some in return. Can he win the trade? He does. Didn't need the slurp juice after all.
Nah. He picked his teammate up, lifted him up in the air, took that elimination, multiple eliminations after that, Wheels, the Victory Royale. A crazy set of builds here. I love looking at these things afterwards, but what really matters is the play-by-play there, every single strategy, and if we could, Zeke, take us through what you know.
Well, Dr. Lupo, the only thing I know is you're incredible. Thank you guys so much for casting. As always, you guys are amazing, and of course, I agree. The fossils are a great story that tells what all went down in that game, Sundown. Now, I know you've pulled some clips for us, so what you have to show?
So we're gonna take a look, and the theme of this one is Galaxy Brain, putting that mental to the test and seeing what you're able to do. So first, Trashy picks up the low ground elim, and now 1v1, Aiden on the top, and he pops the shadow. Aiden heard it, and he goes to look for him, but Trashy's just like, I'm in the zone. I got the bandages, I'm good. Aiden goes out a little too early. Trashy is able to pop off the mini and then just turn back. Aiden spends the whole time looking for him, and Trashy just gets the nice, easy elim going. Had the heavy sniper ready, but now on board here with AU's Mankin. Looking for the shot. First, finds Pocket right out of the edit and then drops right around the side. But keep an eye on what he does here. Dropping down, loops around the side, finds synergy kicks out into the storm. Now uses the shadow bomb and drops all the way around and just stands. He's just standing, waiting, flanks back up around to the tree, puts him on the mid-ground tarp. So everyone else now is fighting, and he gets this entire space to himself, picks up Cloxic, and the Siphon is enough to push him over the top. Brilliantly done. And Saf here now with the Galaxy Brain 2.0, aiming way back into the storm with the tactical assault rifle. Cool guys don't look at explosions or falling players. Z-Fakey going down there, and then Saf going to work with what he does best, finding his angle, picks up Cryptic, and the Galaxy Brain play to get high ground control. That was the only other player who could have possibly contested him. Slump goes down, and look at what he has in the loadout. Has bandages, has 100, can wait this player out. 8 more builds going through there. Starts hearing shots going and just controls the high ground out. Can't fire off, bandage, commit to it. The second it ticks over to 74, that is how you win a heal off. Those are the little things you have to do right. And you know what? Big brain Saf right there.
Big brain Saf. Now, of course, we're going to take a look at the standings, see how things are going. Now, again, guys, this is it. The final standings, or the final day, excuse me, of finals for NA West. 2 spots up for grabs. Now, don't forget, Pika's already qualified. So that means these 2 spots shift down. 2 right now. Harrians and Spook, they're in a pretty good spot, but look at the point spread out.
Look at the point spread, and look who else is on this leaderboard. So Spook, Harrian, Saf, Domo, Rex, Deuces, Spectro, Maximo. That's basically Fortnite West in a nutshell, minus Aiden and Sean. However, we got a little bit of South Korea invasion going on. We talked about it at the start of the show. Metacino and Envy are playing in Canada this week, and last week as well, playing on NA West. And right now, he is 1 point off that qualification spot. Like, it would be such an incredible effort out of him if he can get one on foreign soil.
I mean, keep in mind, though, he does have 8 games played, so does Saf, right? So Spook and Harrians have a little more wiggle room, but again, it's going to come down to the wire.
It's down to it anyway. These guys, their game management time is right about there. The queues are getting towards the end of it, and I mean, we're about to find out who our last 2 players are.
Well, let's get back into more of these games, as of course, we're going to hop back over with the boys that are going to continue casting our games. Gentlemen, back your way.
Thank you very much, Zeke and Sundown, for your analysis. For some reason,
dude, that board is so close, that top 10.
Yeah, it's scary.
Anyone's game right
scary.
now. I would say if you're in top 25, I'd put it that close. You're in contention right now.
It might even be deeper than that. You never know, because we've seen, I mean, we saw, what was it, Mega dropped a 20 elimination.
Oh my gosh, yes.
In finals the last week. You're really going to go that big? Like, it's anybody's game. We do have just over 15 minutes left for NA West. If you're trying to queue, get your games in. Pay attention to the clock. Very important. We got Phil in an adorable Easter onesie. Out here, 2 eliminations.
You know, one of the coolest things that Epic Games like
Is
Fortnite
it Easter?
started doing
This is like a Christmas winter onesie. My bad.
The reskins, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You have something, and then you get more for what you already own. That's like the best thing.
As Courage would say, yeah, eat dab. Luchador, the top left, pick it up in Elim. We're down to 39 left. Moving into the 6th circle, combat shotgun. Screaming for it, finds it. Are you kidding me? Flip-flop goes down 12 miles away with the epic combat shotgun.
And
big
people
damage there.
want the normal pump back. I don't know, man. I think you can put up the argument right now. The combat kind of dubs on the normal pump in almost every situation.
Unless you're in the same box. Unless you're in the same box. Yeah, if you're box fighting.
Which I'll be honest, I'm more of a box warrior. I'm way more of a box warrior. I just don't have. I don't playground, I guess, as much as this guy. You know, I don't do all that flashy.
You trying to tell me you don't crank 90s, Monster? I don't believe that for a second. I've seen you.
I crank 180s, bro.
That's
backwards. I like to go down and I just wait at that point.
Weird flex, dude, but okay. I see you. Vertsack goes down inside the box. Speaking of boxes, box fighting. Legendary combat shotgun in the inventory of Phil.
But even then, I'll just pose this and then I'll let the topic go.
Oh, gosh.
Even in a box fight, dude, the combat is disgusting. You don't even have to swap over.
Oh,
you just
Reddit is going to pick this up and run with it, dude. You got to be careful.
Hey, this is 2 sides of the road here, all right? Respectfully walk with me here. Let's have this talk.
Follow me.
Follow me, youngins. Let me show you. Show some numbers here.
I understand what you're saying. Both weapons, they had their caveats. They are powerful within the weight. Barband did a reset and side edit on that pyramid so fast.
See, he's doing full 180, 360. This is me. I don't 90. Do those, dude. Just build everything.
Protective.
Honestly, though, he just dedicated a lot of material to setting up here.
He did indeed. It might pay off, though. He picks up an Elim or 2, rotates through the material.
Oh, my gosh.
Non-stop applying pressure with a swap between ARs, the combat shotgun from that distance.
What other weapon
insanity.
can do that? See? Point proven.
Touche. Your comment was in regard to box fighting, though, brother. Hold up. Slow your roll for a second.
All right.
Harrian's in there.
Barber's doing a really good job here. If you invest that much and then it turns into Elim, I say worth. But there's a platform. There's actually a dropship right above him. Unfortunate for him, he's going to have to give up the high ground because of it. The pressure was coming down, so lands in with someone. It's his walls.
No
okay,
trap,
manages to save
Yeah,
himself.
no, he does have trap. Why is he not trapping?
He's just toying with him, you know? Protects left, protects right, comes back around. Hello.
Okay.
It's all his
He got the elimination, but he owned both walls. He owned all the walls, it almost looked like. Could have played a trap there. Multiple sides to pick that up.
Just passive.
All right.
Maybe he thought, what if he doesn't own it? The trap attempt, be the hesitation that gets you eliminated?
What? He knows that he owns it. He was editing the
Well,
walls.
at that point.
He was literally editing the walls. A baller almost flies inside the box. He's sitting inside right now. Tons of builds, not a lot of metal, but it is late game. No reason to hold on to those too much, and goes for the launch pad play to go for high ground lands.
Gets caught.
Literally exactly where he needed to challenge this. He might actually pull this off. Quick build. Gets full loss. Here's the traps, brother. Dropping down inside. Shots back behind. The quick and the flip.
Let's go,
Are
Barman.
you kidding me?
Representing.
Shot. An immediate bludgeon.
He likes to be up here.
Well played, Barman.
How fast was that?
That stupid fast. That you look, Google it. Stupid fast. That's a real term.
It happened. You saw it. We commentated it. Barman's in it right now. Frags lands right on him. Is he going to fall victim as well? He's got the mats. He can do this.
Literally landing on a high ground platform, taking a play out of the book of Barman, it looks like, from literally just moments ago. Drop down, layer down just a little bit.
It's kind of interesting.
Last circle.
He knows the player above him, Frags, has got RPG, but he's got redeploy, so...
And a shadow bomb, just in case.
Like, he can totally get down, but if he goes down, then you're at the mercy of the rocket. If you stay up, you're burning material.
It's a tough situation either way.
Okay, he decides to go all the way down. That's the play.
Lands, boxes up, Frags. If he still has... There it is. RPG's coming down. Barman takes a big hit.
Shadow Bomb comes out, uses it to get up and over the mountain. Someone ripped to go. This is going to distract Frag for a second, maybe to look up to the high ground. Can Barban get over the mountain?
It actually was the sound that went off, but it didn't actually occur, and Barban stuck in a 1v1 as Frags has the ultimate high ground and a rocket and a shotgun and all the time in the world. No builds, but it doesn't matter. An epic victory royale for Frags, sitting at 14 points right now.
Worth, though. He got his highlight.
Now, we only had an opportunity to catch just one little game. We're going to pass it back on over to Zeke. We are almost done for the day, so don't leave. I'll know.
He will always know, and he always does, in fact, know. He constantly spits out names of people that have left. He actually does know. Now, Fortnite fam, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us here in the final tail end of NA West. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to a short break. So what you need to do, get up, use the bathroom, get a drink, get some snacks, and come back because we're going to catch the tail end of NA West, and we're going to be punching tickets to the final. So we'll see you guys after this 5-minute break.
When it actually qualified, it's actually such a relief, such a big achievement, and something I've been working for almost a year now. It feels really good.
I think it's one of my biggest accomplishments. It's just a massive, massive pool of people.
You need to be so incredibly proud of your son being one of the best, one of the best solo Fortnite players in the world.
It's still hitting me like slowly. I was literally just laughing. Like, I was laughing so much.
Wow, I won $50,000 guaranteed, and I'm going to New York.
Yeah, gonna keep 50,000. Oh,
there you go.
As a kid, this is basically all you dream of.
The hype's really real.
It's a game I can compete in, and I think that's why I have so much fun in it.
Oh my goodness! What a play!
I'm incredibly grateful for Fortnite for giving me the opportunity to just pursue gaming, and how many friends I've made through this game.
Thank you for everyone who believed in me, because I honestly didn't really believe in myself.
It's gonna be so fun. I love it.
It's awesome. Thanks, Fortnite.
What's up, Fortnite fam? Sundown here, and today we are going to talk about shadow bombs and their impact on competitive play. If you haven't had a chance to use the shadow bomb yet, it is a utility consumable that drops in stacks of 2, and you can carry up to 6 per slot. When used, the shadow bomb grants the user invisibility, move speed, the ability to double jump, and the ability to wall jump. Shadow form lasts for 6 seconds, but will remain active after that window until the user touches their feet on the ground. We've seen Shadow Bombs already have a huge impact on some of the Fortnite World Cup online open qualifiers.
Can he hit it? Oh my gosh! He hits it! You freaking legend! Are you kidding me?
Now, let's hear what some of the players who have already qualified for the Fortnite World Cup final think of the addition of Shadow Bombs to competitive play.
I think with Season 9, the Shadow Bombs are a perfect mobility that has its downsides and upsides if you use it right.
I mean, I think Shadow Bombs are very balanced right now. They're a really good way of getting mobility considering they're an uncommon item.
I feel like they're a really good addition to the game. It's as good as a Rift to Go, maybe even better in my opinion. You can get your position wherever you want to, especially end zone. People don't expect it.
A little bit of HP left. You're gonna pull it!
It's a must carry. You know, when that zone pops and you're super far, you can pop a Shadow Bomb and just get to the next zone. It's great. I love them.
Shadow Bombs are amazing. Like, I reckon that's like one of the best things they've brought out so far, because you could just sneak into someone's box or like get high ground or like go low ground without taking damage.
There's moments where people clutch up, like very end game, like they might not have mats, and the Mr. Savage play where there's a hill and you went up it with the Shadow Bomb. It was just crazy.
They've got to go up the side of the mountain, and it's Shadow Bomb time. He's deciding to take storm damage. Yes. Mr. Savage! Oh my God! Oh my goodness! What a play! The best Shadow Bomb use I've ever seen! Mr. Savage M rising to the top of the mountain.
Thanks for watching, and hopefully you learned a thing or two. What's the best way you've used a Shadow Bomb? Send us clips using the hashtag Fortnite World Cup, and we'll see you guys on the battle bus. Or maybe not, if you're in shadow form.
Week 9, Fortnite World Cup Online Open qualifiers. We're looking at the end of literally what has been 2.5 months of players working, competing, practicing, scrimmaging, and playing out of their minds as much as they can. Because right now, for NA West and for everybody here, this is the culmination of everything we've done thus far. The last day, Sunday, today, we have 2 positions in NA West that will qualify, make their way to New York City, punch that ticket, which for some reason the board doesn't like me. We're going to still see who might make it. Pika has dominated thus far in NA West. The entire time today that he's been out there has held that first place position, but that might not be the case. We will see. It's still anybody's game. And to close out today, I need 2 casters of legendary proportions, Zekimus Prime and Courage JD.
Man, today is all about complimenting. First, Sundown says that I'm an amazing caster. Now, Dr. Lupo with the generous, kind words. Don't look at me, Lupo. No. Oh, he's saying you're wide. Anyway, what's up, Courage JD? How you doing?
I'm great. I'm feeling really good. Excited for these last few matches here at NA West. You know, while we've been giving the players a lot of props, I want to take a moment here because while the other casters may not feel this way, I'm looking at you, production team, and people behind the scenes. I thank you for your hard work and dedication these last 9 weeks. And without you, this wouldn't be possible. I don't care what Zeke and Sundown and all of them say about you when the cameras aren't on. I care. Let's get into the games. See, I'm the only one that cares.
I don't know what to say because I'm the one who loves production more than you
I don't know about
and has
that.
known all these wonderful individuals longer.
Nope.
Weird flex.
See, they're clapping.
But okay, that's right. They're clapping,
They're
for,
clapping
me.
for me.
No, they're clapping for me. All right. Anyway.
They're clapping because your shoes are off camera. That's why they're clapping.
I guess because, anyway.
No, your shoes are fire, though. No.
Oh, thanks, man. Stop. Okay. All right, here we go, Courage.
Whoa, queue's close in 2 minutes, 25 seconds.
This is it, man. The tail end of NA West coming down here to the wire. The only spots available are 2. We saw the standings not that long ago, but those still very easily could change. A lot of these players trying to eke out as many points as possible via eliminations, high placement, the likes. And right now, every single decision they make is going to dictate whether they move up or down the standings, whether they make a mistake, whether they make a fantastic rotation and pick someone else off, shutting them down and ending their run. This is it.
This is everything that people have worked for. The last chance, all eyes on this region, players across the world who have not been able to qualify today, looking in and on to see who might make it in the final moments here. Stura Mura on your screen. A quick little tag with the combat shotgun there. Obviously has more in the inventory than just that. As he quickly does hit a reload. 39 players left in this lobby. With queues closing in the last couple minutes here, the next couple minutes, it's pretty crazy to think that this is the final moments of the Fortnite World Cup online open qualifiers for solos. As you know, duos going down in a little bit over a week and a half. We'll get back to here.
That's right. Don't forget, those times have been moved. It is now June 20th and 21st.
Yes.
And the times have been pushed back an hour, so make sure you know when to queue. Make sure to set your times. Things are a little bit different. Logos here going to be picked up in the crossfire. It's now Sturmura making his rotation. Look at all these players, man. This is just chaos. Everyone trying to get themselves to safety.
Yeah, you see Jarvis up in the elimination feed, taking down one. Moog as well in there. Down goes Axel. Stura just staying alive. Keeping options open, looking for shots, and wow, one player lands nearly inside the box. Stura, you saw, immediately spun around and try to put a shot down range, but doesn't actually connect. We're now down to our top 29. Who will make it to the top 25 to earn those placement points? Stura staying active, want to make sure you don't stay still ever. Even if you're in your own box safe, you never want to stay still. You never know when a heavy sniper could come flying on in with a shotgun combination. One more player. Who will be the one? And that's Perrin, who goes down in 26th to the storm.
Top 25 has been reached. Everyone getting 3 placement points. Top 15 is that next threshold. Top 5 will follow, and the victory royale is worth the big old chunky 10 points. Now Stura here trying to send shots over, finds Jeremy Hacks there. Hacks back to the lobby. Now more will fall. Look at this lobby just thinning out so quickly. Jasper being eliminated there in 17th place. One more player. Whoever gets eliminated is going to miss out on those points. That's Proxy there going down. And look, this just keeps going down. Renegade 464 also being picked off.
Renegade cut down there. You see RJ all the way on the low ground alongside Crispy, who's gotten multiple eliminations so far this game. Jack on the high ground. Great name, but one player all the way in the sky up above everybody, playing that height to their advantage.
Lucid just says, all right, Sura, you've had a great run, friend, but I'm going to go ahead and have to shut you down. Look at the high ground, though. Kunichi up there with the double campfires burning. Biles here going to use that turret there to just give that floor the 1,000 HP just to secure his positioning. And again, man, we're going to see things slow down just a little bit, right, Courage? You know, people don't want to make mistakes. They're looking for top 5. That's when they feel the most confident. They can start making those plays. A huge 78 over on Jack there. Fortunately, he was taken over.
Yeah, Biles with the slurp, still just ticking, getting back as much health as possible. Oh, mid-shadow form gets ripped by that shotgun. Down goes the shields. Thankfully, another slurp in the inventory can be popped once the shadow form is ended, but either way, the damage has been done. Biles very weak at the moment, gonna have to stop and pop this slurp. You see a player with the boombo on the other side of this wall. That's a very confident challenge, knowing the boombo does a minimum 100 damage. Biles gets the win. Continue to build on out. Now in the top 5, the final amount of placement points have been earned, and down goes Biles there in the 5th place spot. Konichi still on the high ground. Waste Mendu Rusian, and finally Lucid, the last players remaining.
And Lucid has already shut down several players here. He's got himself in a top 5. Now, what does he do with this advantage? Kunichi again on the high ground, 32 builds. Down below, Rusian 7, 8 elims. Chaining 2, one of them being Lucid, 0 builds right now. It is a 1v1, a massive 124 to the dome piece of Rusian. And now look, Kunichi has the health advantage, but gets punished for not building.
He's going to spray it out.
Yeah, I mean, Rusian doesn't have any builds. He literally cannot do anything right now. He has to try and bring Kunichi down, but look, Kunichi just gets up on the hill and says, nice try. Nice try, Rusian.
If that zone doesn't go up a mountain, different story right there.
Yep.
But unfortunately, you saw right there as the zone moves on up, there's no opportunity to build up and match the player's height. And Kunichi knows that, follows it up quite well in the end there. Nice victory royale as we move into our next game. Again, queues are closed, folks. No more opportunity to earn points. Now it just comes down to these last lobbies that were already started before the queue shut down. You already saw Arkham on your screen in this one. Looks like we're going to be hopping on board with Voice, who is a player 1 box over.
7 eliminations already, Courage.
Yeah.
30 players remain, 29 to be exact, here in Storm Circle 5. So we're going to see these lobbies be a little less dense, right? Because these are the final few games of the queue. Remember, you have that 3-hour window or 10 games to play. You can queue up until those last few seconds. And then if you get in those games, you want to play those out, try to farm elims, placement, whatever you can, because every single point matters. Voice going on the offensive there, looking to try and establish himself a nice little home made of metal, nestle himself into safety. Look down below. You got the likes of Arkham 1X.
Yep.
In the lobby.
And there's someone trying to bust right into the box right now. Arkham doing everything he can to just defend himself for the moment.
Wow.
And that double-edged sword of popping a campfire. Looks like it's time to be the one on the aggression. Tries to claim the wall, doesn't wind up working out. Immediately switches to another wall. Look at how fast the builds come through. And now we'll reset as this player has completely left that box. Arkham now pushing for every bit that he can. He knows you need every elimination possible to get those points up to qualify. Heavy Snipe comes in, can't get the wall replaced still. So whoever he's facing here doing a great job of stalling, hoping that Arkham just gives it up, and it looks like for the moment that's exactly what's going to happen.
So much control coming out of Arkham. Tracking is immaculate. Look at this. He finally closes in on the Penguin.
That was the same guy.
Yep, that was the same guy.
He
tracked him the entire
time.
No,
I think he's down to the left.
No, is that not him? Is that not Pinguino?
That's the person. Down here, that's the guy.
No, it was Pinguino. It was Pinguino. I'm pretty sure. You might be right. Anyway, top 25. He's in there now.
He's done it.
He's done it. Man, 10 elims over on Arkham, though. And look, he's got builds for days. Double shadow bombs, 5 campfires. 5.
Yeah. Hey, if he goes to a late game heal off, he won't lose. I'll tell you that right now.
Drop 4 all around, you'd sit in the middle.
Drop 4, and I think you just dance.
You just dance. I feel like that's the appropriate thing to do there.
Yeah.
And now look, we're moving over the lava. And you know what that means? Hot feet for everyone that touches lava. That they don't want to do that.
Nope.
They're going to want to make sure to use those materials, build out over the lava, so you do not have to try it. Now, I love using the lava. It only does a single point of damage, sends you forward. A little bit of control chaos. Now this player is going to get built on. He's going to be in the baller. The baller's going to get cracked. Look, they try to disengage.
Arkham is just W-keying every opportunity that he can right now. 11 eliminations, looking to get every point possible. Picks up 2 rifts and soars to the sky. Arkham in a fantastic position to keep raking in these points this game. Look at this, every box. He is challenging every box he sees, Zeke.
He wants points. He is so hungry. The fish out of water. The lava has been chummed. He is looking to find more and more eliminations. Noli here from KNG, unfortunately going to meet his end there at the hands of Arkham 1X. 12 eliminations, Courage. 12. Now he's going to use... it's unbelievable. Look at this. He's going to let someone else...
This is the confidence you love to see in a player. Heavy Snipe can't get into the box, but either way, high ground taken from Arkham. And still with materials for days, 16 players left. 2 more placement points about to be earned if he can live through to the top 15. Broke 1 player's shields, who's dropping all the way down. More challenging. He's going to continue to focus the right way, not tunnel visioning on those eliminations below.
That's literally what I was
Instead,
going to
keeping
say.
the focus on the people up top who are the greater threat at taking his high ground. And now look at how high up he is.
Look down below, though, Vinny. He's kind of, depending on where we go, if this continues to move, he's in a really tough spot. He's got to try and get himself up. Or, okay, this is actually moving, going to hug this little edge. He's just going to just roll his way down below. Look at this.
There's not a lot of builds.
Completely sneaky snaking this. But, yeah, 10 builds. Well, okay. All right, and 15.
Enjoy. Arkham actually wound up using the final rift right there that he had. So really wanting to ensure he doesn't waste a ton of materials. Says, I'll just rift and retake high ground again, because that's the mindset that I'm on right now. Vinny pushing forward. Down to 3 builds, 2 builds. That's it. Can no longer defend himself. And with only a common tactical shotgun, this looks quite grim, folks. As Vinny is just stuck here hoping one of these players walks in front of him just like this. Good 78 tag. There's the elimination onto Lair, and some materials. Another player challenges, dodges the trap. Elimination down onto Fisku. Top 7 now in this lobby.
3 back-to-back. There you go, Vinny. And look at this. Arkham, again, in that high ground position. He's trying to shut down Deuces, who's just 1 tier below. Butterdie is below him, and then everyone else is out on the lowest ground. I mean, Arkham is on a spree right now. 12 eliminations. If he hits top 5, a 17-point game minimum. He looks to pick off the player there. Could not quite. No, sorry, look, he's already in top 5. Two more players.
He's at a 19-point game right now. 19-point game right now. Can he continue this one? Vinny's all the way on the low ground. He's challenging the 1 player on height. Of course, Arkham's going to win this. Okay, got a little quiet there. Got a little intense for a second. Slowly getting knocked down. 1 versus 1. Arkham continuing to try to keep this height. This player's about to be in the lava. Arkham, 2 builds left. It's going to come down to this. He can't pop the minis. 1 shot, 2 shot. There it is. Arkham, a 14 elimination victory royale. 24 points. Talk about clutch right there, Zeke.
What a massive game, especially here. In the last few moments, you're facing off against players that have similar point values. 24 points. Arkham, you're insane.
Wow.
You're nuts, okay?
Absolutely
Straight
wild.
up.
Into our next game. 29 players left in this lobby. Sinu on your screen. Currently boxed and set on up here. Taking down 1 tree, want to get as much vision as possible. 2 Riftigos, 3 Shadow Bombs. All the movement you could ever want. Right now, not in the zone, but that shouldn't be too big of a deal for Sinu. It's with those items of utility, can make it there quite easily.
Starts building down, getting ready here because the storm is going to start moving. And now he's going to try and figure out how he wants to navigate this. You said it best. He's got the 2 rifts. He's probably going to be looking to catch players as they use their utility for rotations, whether it be launch pads. A little bit of an awkward bounce there, but maybe it was his intention. He marks where he's going to go ahead and go and use that to his advantage. Boxes up. Okay, all right. This is a fine position. Someone lands in the box. 113, Jay Young. Don't challenge Sinu.
Sinu wins that one and moves 1 step closer to earning those top 25 placement points. Shots coming in from all the way up top.
Another member of KNG, Tavern, excuse me, here. 6 eliminations on him. The loadout's looking phenomenal. Ammo for days. Mats for days.
Yeah.
The question is, how does he want to put this all into effect? How does he unfold his master plan to rack up more points? Because again, this could be his final game that we're tuning into, right? Because the queues are done. We're just kind of getting through some games, highlighting a few more players, and then we'll take a look at the final standings a little bit later on. Cypher going to be picked off just outside top 25. No placement points for him. You got to hope he's found at least a handful of eliminations before being sent back to lobby.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than getting this far in the game and dropping right outside placement. I talked about it earlier, but it really does mess with your mindset. When you're at a moment like this, you're like, okay, here's my opportunity. Get points on the board. Be in a fantastic position to up that score and then get cut down just before placement points begin to fold on through. Really no worse feeling. Tavern floating on towards his own. Will land in the storm and take 1 tick of 10 damage. That's worth it, though. Has established a little bit of extra height over the players on the very bottom lobby and returns some shots back to the player who was shooting down his wall earlier. Oh, beautifully done. Spots 1 player who was just on the edge of that zone, and he'll continue to put on pressure, and I love this right now, Zeke. You can't ask for anything better. Players who are under 50 HP with the zone at their back having to run right at you.
And this is just free food for Tavern. More eliminations to be racked up, points to be had. Now, if he can hit top 15, 5 points from placement total for him. You see him there on the left side of the screen, but on the right, again, just a refresher, these are the point values, 25, 15, 5, victory hour, are all the placement thresholds. And every elim is a point. Down below, Mouse 1 toggler in very critical condition. Justin here on the right side of the screen, he's looking pretty healthy. Ethan down below as well is pretty hurt. Justin, though, 1 elim, 9 builds left. Someone hops out of a ball looking to challenge. He gets a great trade out, and he does have the half shield to top himself back off.
I like that.
Dude, he needs to find something.
I like the no hesitation on immediately popping the half shield. You've got zone moving. You want as much help as possible at this point in the game. You don't have a lot of builds. Literally every engagement, you need any advantage possible, and right now 50 more shield could make all the difference. Justin, 3 builds remaining. Player keeping him outside the zone. Great shot onto Free G. We'll grab at least 15 builds.
Oh, that's not much. A failed edit there is going to cost him 10 points of HP for the mistake there. He does have the launch pad, but I don't know how helpful it's going to be right now. Okay, all right.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. It's not helpful when it's inside your own box. And now with no builds left, Justin is in a point of panic. Yeah, down it goes. A little bit frantic right there. Dropped down the wrong trap, and because of it, does go down. So 8 players left in this game as we continue to push on through towards seeing who will get the victory royale. You've got Seal Matt a level below Tavern. Tavern now beginning to put pressure on. And we'll drop the player down lower. Smart play, keeps high ground, much more safe. Less of an opportunity of someone challenging.
He sees the white damage numbers on the player over one in that 1x1. More damage numbers. Those are blue, so remember those are shield damage numbers. Gonna start to drop back down. This is good. Rejoin everyone else down below playing Fortnite. Now, where is this player? He's hunting them down, Perch. He's still hungry.
Yeah.
He's on the 8 elims. You got to think he's trying to break that double digits.
I'm wondering if he's worried about this. This build above. Someone did just land on height. That's what I was questioning for a second. Does get challenged, but it's Sinu, and Tavern gets the better of him right there. I thought that was going to spell disaster for Tavern, but it does not. And now we're down to our top 3. Hellboy, Sealmat, and Tavern fighting for the top spot.
And someone like Sealmat's been in these positions, right? He's made it into your top 3 several times. He knows how to battle this out. Immediately, look at that. Shuts down Hellboy in the 1v1. Now, Tavern standing between him and the 3 extra points from the victory royale. Tavern in the right side, top right. Sealmat in the bottom right there. Now, if Tavern picks this up, this is a 20-point game for him. If Matt picks it up, it's a 16-point game. And it's Sealmat who's going to take the game away. Again, Sealmat's been in these positions before. He knows exactly how to capitalize and how to shut other players down.
And with how quick that player left, I assume they're trying to rush back into
hop back into
their queue before that. Because remember, we are looking back about 10, 15 minutes ago to where these last games were starting. Probably trying to frantically hop on in. 37 players left in this one. Again, we will have your final placings and the standings here after these last couple games. We'll show you every single person who qualified across the world for the solos competition. Now that we'll know every single one of the 100 players. It's incredible to think about, Zeke. We've made it here. Lupa put it best. The last 2.5 months have led to this point.
That's right, man. 2 spots in NA West, and man, just to think about it, you know, so many players have worked so hard. They've continued to grow over the course of the current 9 weeks. When we do hit that final week of duos, it will be 10 weeks. Just to see everyone grow, improve, level up, it's been a journey, you know. And I think at the end of the day, that's something to look back on and say, you know what, I'm nasty now.
I'm nasty now.
My gameplay is soggy.
It is soggy. People have very soggy gameplay out there.
I've heard about that. Yep. I've heard many people say that. No Dr. Luke, but I've heard people say that. You're just old right now. That's all it is. 35 players in the current lobby. 10 more need to fall before top 25. Flock's inventory.
Uh-oh, it seems like this player in the wood box here has been the one deemed from everyone. You must drop now, as all turn their attention towards Frost. As unfortunately, there's no way you're stopping that much spam, my friend. 32 left right now. 2 shadow bombs available. As now, players continuing to prepare for these storms to begin to move.
Here we go. Hopping down below, you see WBG Viz here. I'm curious to see what the loadout. You can see he's got the heavy sniper. Look at this. Golds for days.
He's played solid gold mode. I think that's what's happening right here.
He's got himself the bandages if things get a little bit dicey, and of course the minis are going to help as well. Nothing in the ways of mobility, at least it doesn't appear that way, unless he does have launch pads and that visual bug is just hiding them from us. Makes things more intense. 31 players left. Hops in! S2's mode just gets demolished.
Clean shot with the combat shotty right there. One clean motion. You love seeing stuff like that. Legendary combat shotgun just showing how good it is. Whether it's up close and personal or from medium to longer ranges, still gets the job done. Rifts going off, launch pads being placed, shadow bombs being popped. It's an all-out sprint to the next zone as people fight for the best position.
The question would be, where do we go from here? Do we keep going south into Neil Tilted? Now, I believe Pasty there is going to be picked up due to storm damage. Zenst here must have gotten a little bit of damage over on that player. Don't forget that new timer is up to 60 seconds. If someone is eliminated, you get that elimination credit. It's very, very helpful there in securing things. 28 players. Sense is sensing himself in top 25. Boom, immediately there.
That was a stretch. Can we agree?
All right.
Sense is sensing himself for the top 25.
I didn't expect it to just pop there. It's like 3 people were just instantly eliminated, so I just kind of jumped the gun. I should have made the joke a little earlier there. Macy here going to be picked up. Rusian going to be picked up. And look at this. Sense up on the high ground. Well, you know, this is his high ground now.
Yeah, I guess that's how that works. Playing from height, drum gun, 600 shots.
Wow.
On the high ground.
You know, the shotgun ammo, it's a little sparse right now. 25, it's enough to get the job done, but he can't spend too many, you know, if players are rifting up the sky, he can't send extra out.
On height at this point is actually where you'd go through the majority of your shotgun ammo, so I completely agree. You might be thinking, well, there's only like 15 people left. How much ammo could you really need? Well, when you have height in the late game and everyone's flying around and you're putting shots down range,
you're using at least 3.
The new custom is using shotgun ammo. But as I say that, he puts the drum gun to use, so Zen's keeping watch of that ammo himself, making the best plays possible with the different weapons in his arsenal.
He does have the 600 rounds. You mentioned it earlier, a 50 drum mag over on the drum gun. He's going to start putting it to work here, just trying to harass Flick, making him, you know, trying to dictate what Flick is doing, how he's moving, and when. Observers, you guys are just showing off here in the final few moments of this game. 10 players left. Viz finds Flick, though, with a Flick shot. I don't know what's going on with me right now. 7 eliminations over on Viz.
Respect it.
You know, I just feel like
my box.
Double 80s. Navi BB. I'm sorry. It's going to be back to lobby for you, BB.
Maxed out brick from that, too. So back up to over 50 builds. One player just in front. Again, you can tell Viz has the same mindset as what we saw earlier from Arkham. I have to challenge every player if I want to qualify. At this point, I need the best. I need every elim here, plus a victory royale if I want to have any chance.
And you know these players are actively looking at the leaderboard. They're actively pulling up and saying, where am I? Who is ahead of me? How many points do I need to close that distance? Or how many do I need to jump up? Am I in contention? Are we at tiebreakers? What is the difference right now? He's going to drop down immediately. Finds an elimination. Lopez 8, or Lopeza, YouTube.
Up the mountain.
All right, Sense still up on the high ground. Viz there closing the gap. Crayon there as well. Proverbs, he's got himself the ball, gets cracked, and look at this HP. He isn't critical. He's going to fall there. 3 players left, Courage.
Yeah, Viz at the bottom right of your screen. Zen still playing from the high ground. Crayon with shots coming in. All challenges come on to Viz, and Zen just says, hey, you guys fight. I'll come clean up whoever's left. And that's exactly what happens. Ending the game with a max 200 HP. Brilliantly done right there from Zenz. Keeping the height and dropping in when the time comes. Doesn't get much better than that as we prepare for our next game. Zeke, I think we're coming down towards the end here. Are you going to shed a tear?
Probably, man. Probably. It's so strange to think about. I remember at the beginning of all this, I was like, man, 10 weeks, you know, that's a long time. I did it before in Summer Skirmish, and it was long, and you know, I blinked, and then suddenly here we are, week 9. It's almost all said and done. Of course, we still have the finals that I'm, of course, looking forward to.
I don't think I've ever been more excited for an event than the World Cup Finals.
Man.
It is going to be absolutely insane.
I don't think the Fortnite fam is ready for how crazy the finals are going to be.
Yeah. It should be nuts. I know, I'm sure Epic's going to pull out all the stops for it, make sure it's quite the spectacle because, man, $30 million in prize money or whatever it is, plus the beautiful venue we're going to be in, New York City, the height of the summer. I mean, are you kidding me?
I look forward to it. Think about it often. And, of course, you know, it's going to be super fun casting those games. But for now, we got to live in the moment, Courage. We got to see what's going on with these players. Blixifier, he's on the 3 limbs. There's still 40 other players he could potentially, you know, devour for more points. One here. Nishi is just going to get picked off immediately. Look at this. Baller just going to go over, pick up all the loot. Nom. You know, I was going to say, if I'm someone else watching this, you got to crack the Baller immediately. Don't let him get away with this for free. At least break the Baller, force him to use those materials he just picked up, and that is exactly what happens.
The Baller health updates have been great. They've made them much more reasonable and competitive, and you see right there, a moment one player can peek on out and just immediately cut down that Baller, and now one less is available. Looking at the full lobby, Nolan, 42 points. And knowing where some of the other players are stacking up point-wise, Nolan's probably a little bit far off from qualifying. Would need maybe the best game ever from here on out.
I mean, he would need to start a spree immediately. Looking at the loadout, it's a little sparse. I mean, dualies are great, but you just got to make sure you're up close, you're landing those headshots, and you can just shred someone's HP.
Yep.
Someone goes for the challenge of 127 with the tack. The dualies are coming out. He wants to challenge, going to go try and punch through this metal. He needs to try and do it fast. Do not let the HP bar tick up. He gets the wall replaced. The player defensively comes out with the wall ramp. Look at this. They're hugging, and another ramp comes out. The trap against the wall. Okay.
Dodges.
It's okay.
Dodges.
Fine.
Dodges. These are the best players in the world. Zeke, they know how to dodge those traps. 29 players left.
You ever feel like it's like, you know, when you go to like a movie and you put on the 3D glasses and it's like it's in your face? That's what happens every time a trap comes out. I think it's like
right there.
It's going to be me that's eliminated. I get like flashbacks of all the times I've been eliminated via traps. All too many.
Dude, they are the most, like, the toughest way to drop. It used to be like much more humiliating when it happened because the trap used to have to be placed on a fully set wall. And it would take the time to obviously go with that. But now, with how fast the traps can go down for 150 damage, they're one of the best defensive tools when someone's aggressively pushing into your box. And that's a beautiful rocket right there.
Wow. The massive, that was huge. Blixifier is shut down. And if that was his last game, that's it. He cannot rack up any more points.
Nope.
Great angle there. Caminus there on just below the tarp. Zed there. Oh my gosh, look at the HP. Just gone. That's it. Vinny Recon there. So many names. Maximos in this. Harrians is in this. People contesting for those 2 spots available. And look at this. We hop in, of course, with Harrians. 3 elims.
71 points.
This could go any way, man. If Harrians can just drop a massive game here, find elims, at least 5 more, let's say, at minimum.
I mean, have we seen anyone near 80 points? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
So obviously we don't know the official standings yet. We'll give them to you in just a few minutes. But right now, looking at all things considered, Harrians has been in the top 10 throughout the day. Right now, still at 73 points as he gets 2 more for placing top 15. Tries to drop the player in from up top. 9 builds left. Harrians wants to pop this other mini. And from here on out, I think it's going to all come down to just good use of the weapons that he has. Tack shotgun comes in. Only gets a brief little tag. Nothing too much on that player down below. You shadow bomb away. Harrians cannot finish up that elimination. He's made it to the top 11. Now challenges all the way to the low ground. A rocket does connect, but he gets some health on the elim. Knight, though, takes Harrians down from the back. And here are your final 9 players in this game. Barrel all the way on the high ground.
So we got to remember, 75 points is where Harrians is at right now. As we look at other players, just peek down. So Nolan is right now 49. He's very well and far away from Harrion. So right now, I think, I don't remember the standings. I've been so focused on these games. Nolan here, he needs to make the play of his life. Knight goes down. Nolan is 1 elimination away. There he goes. Herbley goes down to Tokata. Shuts him down. He's got the placement points. He needs to make the play of his life right now, Courage.
Starts with that. First shots come in. Rocket now out. Second elimination comes through.
He got both.
Siege J goes down. Nolan, 53 points again. Still don't think it's going to be enough, but at this point, it's valiant efforts playing for pride. Rocket comes through. Does it knock a player down? Only one build left. He hears the mini being popped. He knows the person's got to be weak. Oh, they're just below. Great challenge from...
Oh, my God. The flank shot over on Barrel.
Cracks him right there. The tree up above. Is this about to drop this player down?
I believe so.
Does it drop the player down?
Yeah, it should, unless he's got built.
Here
he comes! Oh, my God!
Wow. A clean shot from Nolan on the Takada, the victory royale. Unfortunately for him, 58 points, probably not enough. Either way, great final performance.
Absolutely mind-blowing games out of NA West. But for now, guys, we're going to send it back in the studio. Let's go meet up with Dr. Lupo and see what's up.
NA West, absolutely ridiculous. Nolan literally owning the entire end game there, putting on an excellent show. The choice to rocket at just the right time, drop players in from above. Wild combat shotgun shots. You love to see it. And that actually is the final game for NA West that we're going to show you, which means it's time to take a look at the standings in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We're going to throw to a break. Sorry to debate you a little bit, but I had to do it. We'll be here when you come back. See you in 10.
What's up, Fortnite fam? Sundown here, and today we're going to cover some of the basic terminology you should know when watching competitive Fortnite. If you're familiar with high-level gameplay, these should be commonplace and a nice little refresher. If you're a little newer, buckle in, because you're about to learn up. Rotations. A rotation is the path a player or team takes to get from their current location to the next safe zone. Rotations cover not only the direction the players choose to path, but also the method they use to get there. A lot of different forms of utility enable rotations, including vehicles, rift-to-goes, building, shadow bombs, and glider redeploy. A player's ability to rotate effectively is key because this determines what type of engagements they'll be facing and whether or not they're at an advantage or disadvantage. Gatekeeping. Gatekeeping is when a player who is secure inside the safe zone puts pressure on an opponent who is forced to rotate because of the storm closing in on them. The gatekeeper is able to get uncontested shots onto the opponent, as they are forced to move due to not wanting to take damage from the storm. You will see a lot of top players utilize this in order to create opportunities to get eliminations and points. High ground advantage. High ground advantage is when you have a height advantage over your opponent and are looking down on them. Having the high ground enables you to have more access to information and easier ability to take and hit shots. You will frequently see players battling for high ground in all stages of the game, but in particular during the late game. The ultimate high ground is generally the player or team who controls the highest level during the final circles, and they have a number of advantages. They are typically the least threatened, can decide when to drop down and start taking fights, and also have great angles to punish opponents with AoE weapons or rifle fire. Low ground warrior. The next term is the opposite of the high ground. The low ground warrior is the player looking to sweep along the ground floor, taking close quarter combat fights and forcing opponents to make the first move. This can also be efficient because it often doesn't require as many materials or as much of a risk to gain control of, but can also lead to being in a lot more chaotic of an environment. Backside of the storm. Speaking of chaotic environments, our next term is possibly the most perfect embodiment of this. The backside of the storm is when the safe zone is closing in towards a new one and the players are clustered in towards one edge. Generally, it is very high density of competitors, and you will find a lot of interactions, engagements, disengagements, and eliminations occurring at this point, particularly for those low ground warriors we just talked about. 1x1s. 1x1s are the most basic proponent of building in competitive Fortnite. This is when a player boxes themselves in using their own builds, making them safe from outside fire. This technique can be expanded on to allow for players to take control of a space around them, but it all starts with the 4 walls around you, then a floor plus ceiling that each have a pyramid on them. Tunneling. Tunneling is the first basic expansion of the 1x1s. Tunneling is when players create a tunnel out of their own builds in order to rotate safely. This is typically done by putting out floors and ceilings in either a straight or diagonal path, then covering your sides with walls as you advance. This allows players without utility to rotate for maximum safety. 90s. 90s are when players utilize vertical 90-degree rotational building in order to build upwards as fast as possible, while also remaining covered. This enables players to try and gain high ground advantage or outplay their opponent to get a quick, different angle. You'll frequently see them used in mid-game build fights or in endgame scenarios where players have to build up very quickly. This has been a quick rundown of the common competitive terms that are frequently used on broadcast. If there are any other terms you're unfamiliar with, let us know using the hashtag Fortnite World Cup and asking for an explanation. We hope this helps you level up, and we'll see you all on the battle bus.
Zeke, this is it. This is the last chance, all right? People need to know about this block party, all right? This is your last opportunity to get them involved, to get them hyped. Zeke, everyone's gonna be there, all right? DJ Zeke's gonna be there. DJ Sundown's gonna be there. Everyone's gonna be there, all right? The people are waiting. All right. You know what, man? I'm DJ Zeke. I don't need no card. But what you need to do is buy your tickets to the block party. Tickets are only $35, Fortnite fam. Listen, all right, June 15th, 16th at the LA Forum. Day 1, Creative Showdown. Listen, all right, Team Evolve built an incredible map. Spoiler alert, it's dope. Day 2, Celebrity Pro-Am. 50 pro gamers, 50 celebrities, all battling out for a $3 million charity prize pool. What more do you want? What more do you need? Fortnite fam, you need to be there because we are ready to party with you. Bam!
When it actually qualified, it's actually such a relief, such a big achievement, and something I've been working for almost a year now. It feels really good.
I think it's one of my biggest accomplishments. It's just a massive, massive pool of people.
You need to be so incredibly proud of your son being one of the best, one of the best solo Fortnite players in the world.
It's still hitting me like slowly.
I was literally just laughing. Like I was laughing so much.
Wow, I won $50,000 guaranteed, and I'm going to New York.
Yeah, gonna keep 50,000.
Oh, there you go.
As a kid, this is basically all you dream of.
The hype's really real.
It's a game I can compete in, and I think that's why I have so much fun in it.
I'm incredibly grateful for Fortnite for giving me the opportunity to just pursue gaming and how many friends I've made through this game.
Thank you for everyone who believed in me, because I honestly didn't really believe in myself.
It's gonna be so fun. I love it.
It's awesome. Thanks, Fortnite.
right, Fortnite fam. This is it. 9 weeks of work. 5 of those have gone to solo competition, and now we are here to find out who the final players are that will be joining us in the Fortnite World Cup. Now, first, of course, we've got this guy, Sundown. But that's what I was going to say. First, you guys have been super excited on social media. You know we love interacting with you. Let's take a look at all the exciting things you guys have been posting about. Of course, so many people qualifying, many excited about it.
Oh, yeah.
Boom.
An aspect.
Zero ping.
Let's go, baby. Zero ping, OP.
Zero ping, boys.
I heard that lets you take walls easier.
Yes, indeed, apparently.
There you go.
This is my favorite one right here, just MQ. This is unreal. Thank you guys for believing for everything. All you need is to believe in yourself. Love you guys. Just subscribe to my YouTube right there. It's like going in a nice little emotional message and then slides the plug in.
He must
Courage
watch.
taught him well.
He literally must watch Courage JD all day.
Listen,
there you go.
Gotta know how to plug. Simple as that.
Don't. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Fortnite fans across the globe, we know what you're waiting for, and that is the NA West results. Who will be the 2 players that have punched their tickets and will be joining us in the World Cup Finals in New York City? You guys ready to find out?
Yes, sir.
Want to see this?
Here we go. Arkham 1X. Now, Pika, of course, is already qualified, so that means Harryans will be coming through. Congratulations to both players. Are you guys surprised? I mean, I feel like we've been seeing Harryans literally all day.
Not surprised at all. I mean, Arkham and Harryans have been fantastic. Harryans was in that top spot in the semifinal as well. The one thing to note here on the NA West leaderboards, there was a match that launched after the time window. It will end up being invalidated. It did not impact the qualification spots, but the order might change. So if you check the leaderboard out maybe tomorrow and something's a little different, that's why. So just wanted to give you a little heads up in there. But again, congratulations to all of these guys. Such incredible players snagging the final 2 spots. That's it. The solos competition is now set. The pool is there. And I mean, it's going to be absurd.
Man, cannot wait for World Cup Finals. Now, of course, guys, just to give you a refresher as to how the entire day went, let's take a look back. Start with Oceania, remind you guys who was qualified. That is Rona Season or Sazman. You know, it's fantastic to see this player come through. So much work, so much has gone into his trip. And now, Courage, he's made it through. He's got himself a ticket.
What a relief it must be. Obviously, it's a whole different story when you're in one of those regions where there's one spot. It's something to think about where it's like winning the lottery. You have to have everything go right, then to not only fight for it, but it's across a window. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon that you need to play through the entire day and do well. Sazman, congratulations. It was great talking with him earlier. You could just tell how excited he is.
Got anything? Oh, I thought you were going to say something. All right, moving on along. Asia. Let's take a look and refresh your memory as to who will coming through. That is Moffin XD. Again, similar story in Oceania. Actually, 1 point making the difference there. So Sexy Boy being edged out at the very end by a single point or an elimination. You hate to see it, Sundown, but still awesome.
It was so rough for Sexy Boy, too, because he got off to a really good start. And then there was, I think, his middle 5 games. He ended up only getting 3 eliminations and then was like 50-something, 40-something. So he's playing them out. Popped off in his last 3, but it wasn't enough. Best of luck to him in Week 10 in the duos competition because he's played so absurdly well. But even bigger congratulations to Riddles Moffin taking that single qualification spot, the last one coming out of Asia for solos.
Now moving on along, we've got Europe, so let's take a look at this and give you guys a fresh reminder. This is, I believe, the first time, Lupo, we've seen the top 8 just being a top 8. Not like several people that have qualified and shifting everything down.
A brand new array of players making their way in. But that being said, they're not names necessarily that we haven't seen before. We have multiple players from Lestream qualifying. Finally, one of Courage JD's go-tos every single time. Mongrel right there, smack dab in the middle at 5th. It doesn't surprise me to see who we see on the board. And it doesn't surprise me that we're having big swings in terms of players that are maybe more or less consistent, because as Fortnite develops and changes, you have people that adapt to it very quickly, some that struggle a little bit, but like you have consistent players throughout the entire event. I have to call specifically to Lestream, both those players very, very good, but all the way at the top, and Dreda. We talked about it earlier. 200s to 600, and then out of nowhere just smashes his way all the way to the top, first place. Love to see that.
He'll do indeed. Now, of course, guys, we're going to move on. Brazil. Monster, you and I got to hang out for that region. Clip Node. I mean, we just saw clip after clip of Clip Node there. And for him to shut out people, I know, like Red Techno Viking, people like Red Snow, the 9Z duo, members of W7M.
Yeah, it was
for Clip Node, this is huge.
And I mean, it's just so painful to see people like Techno Viking just not be able to squeeze through. Even Oli King, who had a great performance yesterday. And then today, just like coming in 6 is also a great performance back to back. So guys, you have to give respect to anyone who's been hitting these top 10 boards. This is not the end of the road for these guys.
Also, for Techno Viking, it breaks my heart to say it, but he posted a tweet afterward. There were 3 weeks where Brazil had 1 spot, and there were 2 weeks where Brazil had 2 spots. In the 3 weeks where Brazil only had a single spot, Red Techno Viking was 2nd place every single time. That is the definition of heartbreak right there, to be so close and then so far away. A brilliant effort from him, but again, it's the consistent players we see. And I call Clip Note out, I think it was week 3 or 4. I'm like, hey, he's on here every single time, puts it all together week 9.
Well, there you go. Now, of course, guys, we also did have NA East over on deck. We got to see them a little earlier on. Courage, this is the list. These more familiar names and even some new ones.
Yeah, we saw it went down to the wire already at the top, the 3 players who had already qualified, but Legendian, Relief, I know, to have made it on through. Aspect we spoke to, it shows the dedication. These guys said, hey, we haven't made it here yet. Let's give ourselves the best chance possible. They literally move to a new place just to be together, to be able to get the best practice and the best, performance opportunity to perform well, and Aspect does it. A worthy investment, has now made it on through. Creo sneaks in just at the end, if you remember, came down to the wire. But a very worthy 6 qualifying players here from NA East. Excited to see them.
And you know what? I'll never forget Aspect's opening, because it was the legit start of everything. He popped off like a 20 bomb, which we thought was never possible in the pre-qualifier. And he didn't pull through, but I just knew back then. I was like, dude, Aspect's got something special going on. So good to see him come in the final moment. So big week opener. Great week closer for as far as solos go, and good to see him pull through.
Yeah, for sure. Now, guys, of course, we've got to add the names to the wall. So, Lupo, do you just go ahead and
do the first one?
I was about to say, we'll get the first guy up there. Congratulations to Arkham, another double qualifier in there the last weekend. Do you believe?
I don't even know what the point is.
Wait, hold on. Twitch chat, everyone viewing, send Lupo your energy now.
I don't even know why you bothered. It's not going to work, dude. It's not going to work. Whatever, dude. I'm done with this.
It just did it.
All right, well, guess we lost Lupo there. He gained the magic touch, but just walked off the stage. Harrians in that final spot. These are your last 19 qualifiers for the solo qualification, and what better way to close the show and close the solo qualifiers than talking to the man himself who was in that last spot. Harrians, you there, man?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
What up?
So,
amazing.
I'll ask you the stereotypical first question. You got out of the game, you checked the leaderboard, all was said and done. What was the first thing you did?
I joined my friend group's Discord, and I was just kind of freaking out a little bit. I don't know what to say.
Well, I mean, freaking out is definitely the appropriate response. So after big semifinals yesterday, I saw you kind of VOD review, go through your stuff. Did you kind of feel it today? Did you know you were going through? Because we've seen you in the competitive scene all the time, but kind of in the World Cup qualifiers, you've been just outside the top and pressing towards it. What was the difference today?
Today, I would just say I played really consistent. I got into my late games. I was able to get early rotations and get picks on backside of zone, and eventually just played that consistently all the way through.
You were consistent indeed. The point total saw it. And I mean, your gameplay really speaks to just the decision-making process. So what's kind of going through your mind when you're in those tense situations? Were you thinking about the qualification spot, or is it just all about know your practice, do your drills, get yourself to the right spot?
I mean, I knew what I had to do. I had like 4 shadow bombs in my last game, so I knew I could at least make it through 2 moving zones, maybe even 3 if I used them right. And I knew that I went into that game with like 66 points. I knew if I picked up like around another 10, 8, 10, somewhere in there, I would definitely have a good shot.
I got a question for you now, Harrians. I mean, it felt like every time we tuned into you, man, you're just slaying left and right. It was like you were a walking montage. What has practice been like for you? Because today was your day. You put everything together, and it was unbelievable.
Well, these last, the first few weeks, I noticed that the one thing that I was doing well was I was placing well. I was always like top 10 every game. I was getting placement points, and I was like 75% placement points. And I knew I need to start getting kills. So these last few weeks, I've been really just working on box fighting and taking early and mid game fights to get those better or easier kills early game, and then that'll take me into late game with even more loot.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Harrians, massive congrats. Thank you for taking time to talk with us. We want to give you the floor now just to plug your social, send thanks to whoever. Floor is yours, my friend.
Twitch.tv/Harrions. That's all.
There you go. Wait, is it Harrians or Harryons?
Harryons. Oh,
I was unintentionally right. Thank you so much. We'll see you in New York City, where we will get a slice of pizza.
Awesome.
All right, Harrians. Thank you so much. That was Harrians. Massive congrats.
Unintentionally right is the only right you ever are.
Okay. All right. Can't make it through an entire show. All right. Well, Fortnite fam, again, that is it. We know the 100 players that are going through to the finals, and I think the only fitting way, of course, is to run through all of them together.
Have to do it.
We have to do it. So I think we should go ahead and do that. You guys can kind of
literally told us we have to do it.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
You ruined the magic. Here you go.
There it is.
Taking a look at this. I mean, and Sundown, we'll start with you. And we'll kind of go around. Give me 2 players, just out the gate.
Right off the bat, Prisionero, and I'll take the easy one, Dubs. The Spanish player, and then the young sensation out of the East.
All right. Dr. Courage, you want to go?
That week 1 is stacked for NA, especially.
It's crazy.
Week 3, looking at it as well. Top Banny, someone that was always there. How do you not point out Tifu? Also, Dementos, that duo partner originally of Mongrel. Now they're qualifying in week 3. Very talented players.
Monster?
Let's take a look here. NRG ZT, veteran on the scene, has been putting in good work, and just if I had to choose another shout out, why not give it to Buck, who had one of the most emotional videos, even brought me to a couple tears, man. Shout out to Buck, dude.
Finally, Lupo.
Honestly, the first spot I go to, the players from Brazil have always put on an excellent show. So anytime you have a chance, like Mix, anybody like that shows up on the board, I love that. South America coming in big. Yeah. I love to see it.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, the final week, these are the 19 that are joining us in the Fortnite World Cup Finals. We have our 100. Fortnite fam, be hyped. Send them all some love. Take time to just find their socials, find their content, send them all the love in the world. And I think the last thing I want to do before we go ahead and head out, Sundown kind of talked about this a little bit earlier on. And, obviously we want to celebrate everyone that's qualified. It means the world to them. But if you made it to finals, the top 3,000 players, and you didn't qualify, keep your head up. I know it's very easy to get down. I know. But you made it there for a reason. You're an incredible player, and you deserve to make it to the finals that day.
It was absolutely incredible, like we talk about, and Lupo even kind of touched on it as well. It has been a grind. There's one more week left. This was your last shot for the solos, but put all of your focus into that duo competition. Keep your head up, keep the momentum rolling, because you need the confidence, you need the strong mental game, and don't give up. If you want to keep playing, there's always something to play for, whether it's out there in the community, people starting to run their own events, or whatever happens in the future. You can do it if you set your mind to it and if you genuinely want to.
That's right. Even though you did not qualify, your journey does not end. Your Fortnite journey begins right now. Now, Fortnite fan, before we say goodbye, don't forget Week 10 has been moved. It is on the 20th and the 21st, and we're back an hour, so make sure to set your calendar and your times, because that is the finals for the duo competition. Gentlemen, thank you guys so much for being here with us, Casting Games. Fortnite fam, thank you guys for being here with us and enjoying all the Fortnite action, but that's it from us. So, of course, don't forget to thank your bus driver, and we'll see you guys on the Battle Bus. We are getting ready, guys. The final opportunity for a lot of these players to qualify.
This is the RPG to drop down Clarity. Clarity has zone position, gets the first shot, and Casker finds it!
Knocks the one player down to the box. Shotgun comes through.
Dropping down inside, shots back behind. The quick
Okay.
and the flip.
Let's go,
Are
Marvin.
you kidding me?
Arkham here. The lowest HP, the Rocket gonna come in and protect himself.
He's in the zone, he's
Oh
got
my
it.
God!
He got it!